What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and that intro smacks a little harder after a win, doesn't it, DM?
Yes, sir. Victory Friday. I tell you, it feels so damn good to get that victory, man. I tell you. What's going on,
Bro,
man?
I think we all woke up feeling like how Fitz looked post-game yesterday, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Chest hair out, flashy shirt on, ready to rock into the weekend, bro.
Absolutely love it, love it, love it. Fitz, that's my guy, man. We are so lucky to have that dude, I'm telling you. So,
Yeah, did you see some of the
yeah.
things he was saying today about how he's just happy and he's just lucky to be playing football with his friends, and that's why he still does it and stuff like that? You could tell, like, the one thing you can't knock on this guy is not only the passion he has for the game, but I think how big of a leader he really is in that locker
Mhm.
room, bro. I don't think people really realize like the lengths these guys will go to run through a wall for this guy, bro.
And that's what I mean, reason when I say we're lucky to have him, bro. It's just not his on the field play because we're going to get it to him shortly, but off the field, what a perfect bridge player. You know what I mean? To mentor, to teach the nuances of the game to our future franchise quarterback. This play couldn't have been scripted any better. I mean, I might be in a minority, but I have a tremendous respect for Ryan Fitzpatrick's game and also his leadership, off on and off the field as well. So, yeah, you see it. It's his locker room now. You see he has that infectious personality about him. Like you said, guys just want to run through a wall for him. He's really, really, really fun to watch. And again, I just feel like we're extremely lucky to have a player like that.
Bro, I'm just trying to figure out where all these people that said he needed to be replaced, that he has no business starting, that we should be moving to Tua, that were foaming at the mouth with their little partners going off about and taking sly shots. Like where is everyone that was hating on Fitzpatrick, bro? Where is everyone that was calling for his heads? Because yeah, we lost last week, but that's 2 weeks in a row, that he's put up 28 plus points, and he has been the catalyst as to why him and Gaskin have been the catalyst as to why this offense has been successful the past 2 weeks. Because Devontae Parker, even when he was on the field yesterday, was not at 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got his best weapon down, and he's making things happen, whether it took utilizing Gesicki more in the second half last week or spreading the ball around the way he was this week, man, when he threw the ball. Because we're talking about a guy, man, 18 of 20, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, 133.3 passer rating. Fitz showed up to ball yesterday, bro.
He did,
and I want to
man.
know where all these people who basically said he had no – guys, last night is exactly why, and even the week before, I would say, because the week before was on the defense. That's exactly why Ryan Fitzpatrick is the starter right now. Ryan Fitzpatrick is the cog in the wheel of this offense that gets it rolling. And you're seeing why the last 2 weeks, why that 5 years of experience in the Chan Gailey system is really starting to pay dividends, because we're putting numbers on the board, bro. It's just, let's be honest. If our defense would have been competent in week 2, we probably could have won that game.
I agree 100%. Again, Fitz is not the issue. And he just looks, again, we talked about this, all off season. You and I have talked about this privately. We talked about it publicly. And we always go back to the film, and what we talk about, especially second half of the season last year, the structure that we kept seeing on tape, popping up, jumping out at us on tape. He just looks more, his game seems at his advanced age for that position, seems to be so much more refined on all levels. Mechanically, his decision-making, his accuracy, his anticipation, ball placement, et cetera, in his improvisation. Man, you saw it last night, before, after the New England game, I felt like Fitzpatrick, he needed to start incorporating more of his improvisation. You know, we needed the Fitzpatrick we saw, you know, back in December, the last game against New England. And you look at the Buffalo game, gradually started to implement more of his improvisation, started making plays with his legs. And we saw it on full display last night. I even saw, you know, after I watched the game, after I watched the tape, I saw even Chan Gailey started calling more design runs for him. So that's crazy. 38 years old. So he still has the athleticism, you know what I mean, at that age. And again, the structure that we're continuously seeing with this player. And I think a good portion of our fan base, you need to start taking notice. We've been saying this, these traits, the improvement, the structure is just a continuation of what we saw the end of last year. And he's extremely, extremely fun to watch. And again, I can't say enough about him. The respect that I have for his game, and also Fitzpatrick, the man. So we are extremely lucky to have a player like that. I'm telling you, he is playing at an extremely high level. I don't think the fan base really realize how well this this dude is playing right now. I mean, you put his numbers up, you know, with that blip on the screen that happened in New England, those two, interceptions that I thought wasn't his fault. Other than that one he threw, you know, when he stared the receiver down and they picked it off. Yeah. Other than that, I think he's played phenomenal all year, bro. And I'm telling you, as a fan base, we need to start putting some respect on this man's name because we can win with this dude. He, in addition to the production we're getting in the run game with Myles Gaskin, I mean, back-to-back games of 28 points. Well, 31 and then 28 against Buffalo. A good defense, I might add. One of the better defenses in the league. So, again, bro, so much appreciation for this guy, what he's done, his mentoring with Tua Tagovailoa. And, you know, Fitzpatrick is sending a clear message to Brian Flores, to our fan base. Even though he said that he realizes what his place is in terms of long-term with this organization, but he is not ready. He is not ready to hand the reins over to Tua just yet, bro. And he's demonstrating.
You might make it to that Jets game the way we're going right now.
He might. Again, if Fitz is playing this well and we're winning, why would you even entertain bringing Tua Tagovailoa?
Oh, of course. Agreed.
Because really reason, as well as he's played the last two games, do you really think an unproven rookie is going to come in and perform up to that level? Do you really believe that? Absolutely not. Tua. We know how I feel about him as a player, as a prospect. But again, he's a project, just like any draft pick transitioning in their first year to this level. So we need to stop this foolishness. And you know, I saw multiple. You know, it was a lot of chatter on Facebook today about they're still minimizing this guy's, minimizing the way this guy is playing now from our fans. It's ridiculous.
a lot of people were taking. A lot of people were using the second half as their crutch in terms of, if you look at our offense in the second half, it was obviously a little bit more inept than it was in the first half. And a lot of people are, trying to sit there and place the blame. But, that to me became conservative play calling. It did not start coming off the track. And I will say this, anyone who watched that game, I said this during the live reaction yesterday. The holes were also just not there in the second half like they were in the first half. The adjustments were made like they were not gaping. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't like it was. Gaskin was having a little bit more of a problem moving the football in the second half than he was in the first half. I also blame that not only on play calling, but because of the play calling, they got Gaskin out of a little bit of a rhythm. And then they started coming back to him in the second half, and it was like – they didn't really – here's the thing, EM, now that you've seen the game, now that you've watched it, the one thing I noticed was that rhythm that they sustained in the first drive, it carried over really through the first quarter, but then you started to see them kind of slowly get away from what was being successful in the first drive. I
agree. And, again, that's not a Fitzpatrick issue. That's a Chan Gailey issue. Even though I think it was a well executed game plan offensively and defensively, there's a lot of positive we can take from this game, but there is some things that I saw that stood out to me that need to be cleaned up. And play calling was on the offensive end was one of them. Now I get, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna criticize Chan Gailey at this point because the game was well in hand. I mean, they were clearly, the Dolphins were clearly dominating, the football game. The time of possession was clearly in our favor. So I felt like there was really no reason to no pun intended, to keep your foot on the gas, so to speak. But I would have liked to have seen, more productivity in the second half. Consistency in play calling but it's what it is. We weren't threatening in any kind of way, so I'm not going to criticize him. This week. I think it was just we knew we had the game in hand. We had dominated the game up to that point, and it was just like, okay, well, we just want to get out of here with a win and and healthy for the most part. So,
what do you think about the fact that they really went for a team that didn't, in the first game they only used about 1.8% on motion? What did you think about how heavy they were with motion yesterday?
Oh, loved it, bro. Absolutely loved it, man. And I thought it was in particular Jakeem Grant. We know Grant has his issues in a primary role. We've highlighted those consistently on this platform. But if you keep him in a complementary type of role for him, and what I mean by that is you give him the ball in kind of unconventional ways, jet sweeps. You want to keep him in constant motion because at the end of the day he has something that nobody else in this roster does, and that's that that dynamic crackhead speed, what I call crackhead speed. And wherever he goes, the team, he's taking the coverage with him. The team you saw early on when with that first pass Fitz completed to him, how his just the threat of his presence put the fear of God in CJ Henderson. And I mean, immediately he identified, when he came in motion and he lined up on a boundary, he looked like he gave the appearance that he might have thought about trying to, bump him at the line of scrimmage, but he was like, oh, hell no, let me back up. And I mean, he backed up 10 yards and Jakeem Grant, players like him, they have that dynamic speed. That is what defenses, in particular secondaries, respect more than anything. And so Jakeem Grant deploying him in that format. I loved it. The motion, give it to him in jet sweeps. I would even like to see him line up like in that 24. We talked about this privately, but I would love to see him when the Dolphins, opt to go to that 20 personnel package with his 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. Mm-hmm. I would like to see him lined up like him and Matt Breida with that kind of speed, that dynamic speed coming out of the backfield on wheel routes, angle routes. And what do you do as a defense? You know what I mean? So he's proven he can carry the ball from a running back, type of situation as well. So I love the way they deployed him. If he's deployed in that complementary role, Jakeem Grant could be a huge asset for this offense, I believe. And I thought that getting him involved early, it set the tone for not only his presence but the play calling as well, bro. So I was very pleased to see that.
What do you think about the usage of Ford? Not only was Ford obviously the third target, or sorry, I'd say the fourth right after Gesicki, Preston, and Parker, but the way they were using him in motion, they were trying to basically use the motion to disguise of figuring out what, if the defense was in zone. And then, Ford was used really well yesterday, man, and he continues to be a vital part of the receiving core, man. What are your thoughts of Isaiah Ford's game?
Yeah, I'm loving. I mean, I'm loving his role in this offense. He's proven to be a reliable target. You look at his the game he had last week. A lot of production we got from him last week. Reliable hands. He's a big target. But again, we talked about this, a couple weeks, last week, about, when Ball Game was on a program, on the platform, about when you implement a lot of movement pre-snap, how big of an advantage it gives your offense in terms of identifying what the coverage is. Now, 90% of the time when you have motion and you seeing a defensive back travel with that wide receiver, 90 to 90% of the time, they're tipping their hand to you that they're in man coverage. So when the quarterback already has an idea of what the coverage is going to be, it just makes his job that much more easier. So the fact that they're using Jakeem Grant, Isaiah Ford, in that format, it just brings an added dimension to this offense. I want to see more. I want to see consistency in that kind of deployment. So yeah, it was very encouraging to see Chan. It looks like he got. I listened to Flores on the Zoom session, and he said that after that Buffalo loss, they needed to grow more as not only the players but also as a staff. And I saw more consistency. I saw more, diversity on offense as well as defense. Well, I'm sure we're going to we'll get to the defense shortly, but yeah, it was very encouraging to see, man. And I thought Chan called a very good game up until he took the foot off his gas and got a little conservative. But I'm not gonna, the game was well in hand, so I'm not gonna criticize him for that. But yeah, man, I was very happy to see that.
So let's talk about someone for a sec here, bro. I'm gonna bring it up right now. Jordan Howard, bro. Jordan Howard had another tough go last night. 3 carries, 1 yard, averages about 0.3 yards per carry. Added another goal line touchdown. It's not. It was a weird day for Jordan Howard too, bro, because Jordan Howard at one point today totally deleted everything on his Instagram account, bro. He went totally to like a black,
Zero
black
dark 30.
screen. Yeah, he went
Zero
all
dark 30.
that. And then sometime today, bro, all of a sudden everything came back up. All of his pictures came back. He started posting pictures again. But it was only after people were starting to take notice and make a deal of it. You got Jordan Howard who's getting paid, $5 million a year right now, yet Gaskin is clearly not only finding the holes, not only using his small frame to make himself skinny through holes that aren't there, but this guy is clearly also the best runner right now in terms of he's running the hardest. What are your thoughts right now on the Jordan Howard experiment, we'll call it?
I really don't have any thoughts about Jordan Howard. I really didn't realize he even played showed up last night. Did he get off the bus? Because this dude has been on a milk carton since the first game, bro. The back of a milk carton. And to be honest with you, I am really surprised he has been this unproductive. For a player that has his kind of resume, that's one of the more surprising issues that, at this point in the season. I don't know what's going on with him. Is he healthy? Because I think I saw a report. We talked about this privately a week ago, whenever that was, I thought I had saw a report where he was having hamstring issues.
Bro,
I don't know.
Right now at his current pace, he is on pace, guys, for 86 carries, 64 yards, and 16 touchdowns. Okay.
Man, that's what $5 million will get you. That's what $5 million will get you. Wow. Listen, look, bro. Honestly, clearly, we've heard the consistent reports since day one of training camp of the growth and development of Myles Gaskin. And we saw it week 1. We saw it week 2. We saw it last night. And he's clearly the better player. He's clearly, he has, multiple dimensions to his game. At the end of the day, Jordan Howard, at this point, it looks like he's a more one-dimensional player. It's like his confidence is shot. He doesn't look like he never was like he never was an imposing athlete. You know what I mean? He looks like he's a step slower. It's a perfect storm for him. And it's just, it's a terrible situation for him. And he's just getting outperformed. Matt Breida's a, multi-dimensional back that offers more than just, he can make plays in a passing game as well as the running game. And, at the end of the day, again, this is a coaching staff that prioritizes multiplicity on both sides of the football, versatility on both sides of the football. And he's fallen in that category of that, as a one-dimensional player. And that's the quickest way, as we saw Raekwon McMillan, even though I don't agree with it, but we saw the Raekwon McMillan situation. That's the quickest way to get you out of town, offensively and defensively. So at this point, Ray Charles can clearly see that Myles Gaskin is just a better player. And he has more juice. He has more, it's like he's got more pop.
Yeah, he hits he hits the gaps harder.
Oh, yeah. He
can bounce it out quicker. Like,
oh, yeah. He's
a more complete back right now.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And he's, his vision, Myles Gaskin has everything you want in a running back except imposing size. That's it. If he was 205, 210, you know what I mean? If he ran like maybe a low 4.5, maybe 4.4, he probably, with his resume that he established at the University of Washington, he probably would have been went in the first 3 rounds. Mm-hmm. But, unfortunately, how the nature of the draft of, they value traits more than anything, height, weight, speed. Do I agree with it? No. Is it right or wrong? Who knows? But he has everything, and he's clearly putting on display every single snap, not game, but snap, that he's the better player. His blitz pickup is, a lot of people aren't talking enough about. I saw last night where on 2 occasions where he picked up, he identified where the pressure was coming, was able to, hold up at the point of engagement with the blitzing linebacker or defensive back. He's an impressive guy. He's an impressive player. It's good to see a 7th round pick, the last player picked in the 7th round, the year he came out 2 years ago, to see from that point to now, his growth has been tremendous, and I'm excited to see the future for this kid. I'm not ready to anoint him a franchise back just yet, but I think his status with this team, his role with this team, he's carved out a nice role with this team, and I think he's going to be on this team for quite a while. So very pleased with him, what I'm seeing on film from Myles Gaskin.
Let's talk about the offensive line for a sec, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Another week where the whole offensive line basically plays 100% of the snaps, my friend. 3 weeks in a row now.
3 weeks in a row.
What do you think about this offensive line? And again, Austin Jackson having a pretty freaking solid game. Solomon Kinley absolutely blowing people up yesterday. And he continues to get better. What are your thoughts about not only the rookie's progress, but how that offensive line continues to look like one of the better units on this team?
I think what's more I'm impressed overall in all aspects with our offensive line. Obviously, the physical traits, the size, the athleticism. But what I am the most impressed with is the communication along this line. It has been consistent since, week 1. And you're not seeing the leakage up front that we saw consistently last year. We talked about this, before the season started. The communication up front has been outstanding, in my opinion. Very few hurries, very few sacks, you know what I mean, that they've given up to this point. Obviously, we're seeing the improvement in the run game. But overall, I know we hadn't been, in terms of individual grades, PFF has been kind of dinging all of our starters. They hadn't put much respect, in terms of their overall evaluation for our starters. But that's fine. I'm not necessarily worried about individual grades when it comes to offensive linemen. What I focus on the most is how they play as a collective unit. And in my opinion, we have seen substantial improvement up front for what we saw consistently last year.
And bro, I want to say this: another day in another game and another day where Jesse Davis is the weak link, bro. We allowed 10 total pressures, 5 hurries, 4 hits, and 1 sack. That sack was again a coverage sack charged to Ryan Fitzpatrick. He also had that pressure charge against him. But bro, Jesse Davis accounted for 3 of the 4 hits, 1 of the pressures, one of the hurries, 1 of the 5 hurries, and 4 of the 10 pressures. So this is his second game where he's allowed 4 pressures or more, and the other game he allowed 3. Jesse Davis does continue to be the weak link because, bro, another day and Austin Jackson only allowed 1 pressure, 1 hit. Solomon McKinley, totally clean sheet other than the penalty. I just, and I know we weren't opening up the gaps like how we were in the run game in the second half, like how we were in the first half. But, you look at that offensive line again, Solomon McKinley, Ted Karras allowed a hurry and a pressure. I just gave you Jesse Davis's numbers. Again, everything seems to be going a little bit awry at times around Solomon McKinley, but he keeps holding true and steady, bro.
I agree, man. It's funny, man, that it's crazy how the veterans are the one that are, the quote unquote weak links. Ted Karras, a lot of what, even though he's been okay up to this point. And again, I don't necessarily put much stock in individual grades. I look at them, I grade them collectively. But
that's not grades, right? That's all pressures and stuff.
Right. But
yeah.
But if you look at, the quote unquote weak links are the veterans. Ted Karras and Jesse Davis.
That's been pretty consistent. That's been pretty consistent.
But you look at, I think it's more so. They've struggled, but look, they just happen to be the less athletic players when you're comparing them to everybody else on the offense.
But here's the thing. You know what
that
you're
might
seeing
be an
right
issue
now,
as well.
Now you're seeing why I had an issue with Jesse Davis protecting the blind side of Tua. Because
and I get
it's where I think he's at 11 or 12 pressures through 3 games. He had 4, 3, 4. And then he has a sack accounted to him, and then he has a bunch of hurries as well. And he has a couple hits. So Jesse Davis has struggled. Ted Karras, you weren't around yesterday, but once I started diving back into that all 22 and stuff, what I've been seeing is, how at times I've had an issue with Solomon McKinley pulling. It's because Ted Karras is getting blown up. And that's what's happening, right? It's stopping Solomon McKinley from basically pulling because he's having to make up for Karras blowing it in the middle, bro, because you can't let everything through the middle. So some plays Solomon McKinley is literally throwing his body at the defender who's basically put Karras face first into the turf. So
yeah, well, we knew Karras. He's
you can see why they signed him for 1 year, buddy. He's like
right.
This man's turning into the Landon Roberts of our offensive line over here.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I said he's turning. I said he's turning into. I didn't say he is. Yeah.
Because my God, Landon Roberts, but we'll get to him shortly. Yeah, man, it's crazy how the veterans seem to be having. But again, they're the least. They're the least athletic of everybody. Everybody else, even Kinley, he might not be the most nimble guy on his feet, but the power is there. The wide base is there. The anchor is there. You look at we highlighted Austin Jackson's athleticism and Eric Flowers' athleticism as well. You know what I mean? They're and teams are, what that tells me is that teams are aware of that and they are, they're coming, they're testing them.
And Kinley's a smart player because the one thing people got to notice with him doing that with Ted Karras is he's basically smart enough to recognize, mid-play, oh crap, he blew his block. I got to clear the lane. And I have
Mm-hmm.
literally seen, I can name 2 plays, one against the Patriots and one against the Bills, where Saul McKinley literally left his feet and threw his body at the oncoming interior defender that blew past Karras. And he stopped it, and he stopped the defender from progressing into the pocket, into the backfield. So, I have Kinley, Kinley, to me, he has a it looks like, especially in play, live action, he has really high awareness and a pretty high football IQ.
Mm-hmm. That's rare to see from a rookie, 4th round pick.
Yeah.
But
hey, can I say this to you, EM? Yeah. I don't know if you've been watching, but Solomon Kinley has looked like he was the reason that left side of the Georgia line was successful, because Andrew Thomas has been a disaster, bro. Andrew Thomas has been the worst out of the 5 left tackles taken in the first, bro. And we thought he was the safest. We thought he was the lowest ceiling, but the highest floor. It ain't looking that pretty, bro. Like, I would say, we were talking about this, it looks like it's right now. It looks like it's Tristan Wirfs, Jedrick, then Austin Jackson, then Mekhi Becton, and then Andrew Thomas right now. And the top 4, including Mekhi Becton, look like they have Pro Bowl potential.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's been a disaster, bro. Absolute disaster. But I just think, teams are just to wrap things up with Jesse Davis and Ted Karras. I just think they are the least athletic guys, and teams are just looking to exploit that lack of athleticism, and they're taking advantage of it to this point. So, but so far, even they haven't been good, but they haven't been, their lack of production. Well, I can't even say that, but still, overall, collectively as a line, I'm still liking what I'm seeing. They definitely they have some things they need to clean up, but I'm still liking what I'm seeing collectively as a line, bro.
Bro, I wanted to ask you this too. Another day, another big game from Mike Gesicki, bro. What are your thoughts about Mike Gesicki right now, bro?
I would say maybe a top 5 tight end at this point, maybe. Is that a little premature, you think?
I don't know, man. You might be onto something.
I mean, this dude here, man, they didn't feature him, as much as they did, the previous 2 weeks last night, but they really didn't have to. And, look at the attention that he was getting throughout that game. You know what I mean? See, a lot of people they'll look at his box score. He only had 2 catches, 1 touchdown. So he didn't, stack up he didn't record a lot of statistics, on the stat sheet, but he had a lot of hidden production. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times if he's not making plays, just his presence alone, the attention that he's getting from the opposing defense opens, it could potentially open things up for other players. And I saw consistently last night that he was getting a lot of attention from Jacksonville's defense from a coverage standpoint last night. And I think, you saw, that opened those windows up for Devontae Parker, and also even in the run game. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Mike Gesicki. I love his talent. We all know that. He seems like he's an improved blocker. I mean, I'm not going to say he's –
yeah, it does seem he's better. I agree.
Yeah, he's better. I'm not ready to say he's, I'm comfortable with him in line, but he's just a freakish athlete, bro. He's just a freak. At the end of the day, he's a super freak. 6'6", 4.5 speed, 250 plus pounds, long arms, He's probably got the biggest catch radius in the NFL right now, I think. You know what I mean? Sticky, glue type hands, bro. Whatever you put in his direction, he's snatching it down. He uses his body extremely well to block. He's a power forward playing tight end. Look at how he uses his body to shield defenders off and to box them out. And I look at him and Devontae Parker. They're in terms of separation. When how they look at in a test, players' ability to separate. When you're looking at players like Gesicki and Devontae Parker, I don't think that how they how they test players, I don't think that's necessarily accurate when it comes to players like them because they're not necessarily, shifty guys. They're not the best route runners.
You want to hear something incredible, bro?
What's that?
No NFL player has more touchdown catches since last Thanksgiving than Mike Gesicki. He's at 7 right now.
Absolutely. But but I look at them, man, how they're able to, to use the body control. I hope Preston Williams is taking notes, you know what I mean, from Parker and Gesicki, because even though they're not the guys, they're not the best guys in terms of winning and getting separation through route running, speed, quickness, etc. But bro, name me 2 players that use their body better than Gesicki and Devontae Parker. That's how they generate separation. Is they have that wide base, you know what I mean, and they're 6'4" and above, and long arms. And I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's a really, really, it's a beautiful thing to see how they're able to do that. And I'm telling you, man, we could be on something. I think Gesicki has arrived. You see the improvement in his game, his ability to get off the line of scrimmage is vastly improved. So yeah, man. I mean, top 5. I don't know, Reason. You know what I mean? Is that a little premature, bro? I don't know. But
that play call on the Gesicki touchdown, how they basically had his route come underneath Devontae's, who was over top, caused a little confusion with C.J. Henderson, created that window, and then Gesicki stretches out to make the catch and is in the end zone, bro. That was the one thing I liked about that touchdown too. I liked how the routes, how the rub route over top from Devontae kind of caused a little bit of that hesitation in CJ to create that window for Gesicki to go up, snag it, and run in, man. And I'm in terms of catching the football in open space, man, I'll tell you right now, bro. I think Gesicki right now is better than Zach Ertz, bro. I think right now, I'm gonna make the argument that there's probably only 3 tight ends in football I like better than him.
I would agree, bro.
That's Kittle. I would take Kittle. I would take Travis Kelce, and I would actually take Darren Waller right now. Because I think Darren Waller is more complete, in terms of as a blocker and stuff like that. But those are the only 3 tight ends in football right now. I'm taking over Mike Gesicki.
I would have to agree with that, my friend. But
he is a very good football player, man.
Yes.
And EM, we said as long as he can become a competent blocker, he can now become a third down. And as long as Durham Smythe can develop some hands, he can become a third down. And brother, before we get into the defensive side of the ball, look at how much Durham Smythe was used yesterday. And he was effective.
Yeah. And that's what you want to see. I mean, Durham Smythe, he's not a dynamic. He doesn't have the physical traits as like a Mike Gesicki or a Travis Kelce or, Darren Waller types. But, his MO coming out of Notre Dame, he was primarily a blocking tight end. He got off to a little rough, kind of a rough start early on in his career. But you see we saw the last 2 years the incremental improvement, especially in terms of his blocking. But he looks more, it's like he's improved his ability to play in space and get open and, as a pass catcher, bro. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying you're going to target him 15 times a game, but at least in addition to his run blocking, again, if he can make plays, a few plays here and there a game, again, it's, that's another thing opposing defenses that's another dimension that they have to prepare for. So it's taking attention, it's taking things away from our main, our top guys. So I like what I'm seeing from Durham Smythe, and he's getting a lot.
I gotta ask you,
he's eating up a lot of those snaps.
What was your thought about how they used Durham Smythe in the first drive, where they got him involved in the passing game early, so to throw Jacksonville off that, hey, he's just not an inline blocker right now.
Exactly. That's exactly to my point. He looked. It's like he looks faster. He looks shiftier. His feet. I see improvement in his feet. Yeah, man. So if he can, again, we're not going to target him 20 times a game, but if he can just provide just another dimension to this offense, in addition to his consistent run blocking, it just bodes well overall for the entire offense, man.
Yeah, because look at how they're using him in that full house package too, right?
Absolutely. Oh man, we'll get into the man. I saw a lot of formations that I like, bro.
Go over them right now, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this earlier. It seems that like Fitz is really comfortable in that pistol.
Yeah,
that pistol format, and
which is perfect for Tua.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I saw, overall the pistol format, but I saw, in terms of personnel groupings, the 12 personnel, the 13 personnel package, the 20 personnel spread formations. It seems like Fitz is very comfortable in that pistol format, and again, that just bodes well. That's easier. If we keep that as a staple of our offense, it'll, because Tua, that's pretty much 90% of, what he did, at Alabama was out of that, that pistol format as well. So I love it. Stretch plays out of that same format. Just the power implementation out of that format was surprising to see. So, not surprising.
The power eye with Durham Smythe
Exactly.
and Cox.
Exactly. Full house formations as well. Yeah, it was very encouraging to see. But I'm not surprised. And see, this is what I said about Chan Gailey. Everybody, when we hired Chan Gailey, they were just making this assumption that he was just going to be a primarily spread guy. And what did I say? That's a little premature. Well, what Chan Gailey is known for is diversity.
I will say, though, spread in the 11-man personnel has been the most effective for us running the football. So I will say that.
Yeah, I agree.
But I agree with you, man. Like yesterday, like even with the double end around, the jet sweep to Jakeem Grant, bro, like you were seeing the playbook opening up as well, bro. Like
Absolutely.
It wasn't, you could see the first 2 weeks were kind of feeling out what he has. He saw that he could put up. Let's be honest, bro. A lot of people were out here saying that we're probably going to see the similar game plan to what we saw Sunday because it's such a short week. Bro, he threw that game plan out the window from Sunday, bro. He said nope.
Yeah.
And he gave you a totally different look and a totally different feel that, let's be honest, we talk about the defensive exotics, and we'll get into that when we get to the defensive side of the ball here. But we were seeing offensive exotics, bro.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what and what does Flores say? That's the approach Flores wants. He wants the game plan to be matchup based, week to week basis. What we did last week, that applies to that team. What we're doing this week, that applies to our opponent who we're playing this week. Love the approach. Loving it. You know what I mean? When you have that kind of, when you're multiple like that, it's hard for teams to game plan for you. So, yeah, man, well executed plan, on both sides of the football, personnel group wise, schematics, everything, play calling, the whole nine. Loved it. Just want to see more consistency.
So before we get on to the defensive side of the ball, and then we'll get into some next-gen stats, then we'll get into the PFF grades and go over a few things. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. There's 91 of you in the room. Pound that like button, guys. If you'd like to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Phinside. If you'd like to become a Patreon, www.patreon.com. And guys, /Phinside the NFL. And guys, there's 4 levels. There's a $5 level. There's that $10 level. There's the $15 level. And there's the $20 level. And guys, when you sign up, there are perks. Take advantage of those perks. I keep saying it every time. Not enough of you are taking advantage of the perks you're at on those different levels. And other than that, let's get in and give the Patreon shout-outs like we do every show before we get into the defensive side of the football here. Because guess what? We did gain a new Patreon last night during the live stream, and we gained about almost 20 subscribers as well. So shout out to those 20 subscribers, new 20 subscribers. Let's get up there. Let's get up to 1,400 as soon as we can, guys. And we are going to continue to do the live streams, bring it to y'all. So Infinite Trauma and Rhino Sith, the original OG Patreons. Then we got Fake Spike 94, Shake Money, Joe
Shake,
B,
shake.
K.A. All Day, Ramon Casillas, Seth, Mr. Two Bits, Miguel Angel Hernandez, Slim Pickens, the homie Ricketic, Victor Scott
Rick.
Ramos, and our new patron joining the veteran level, Josh Wesley. Appreciate you for coming on board. So yeah, we're sitting at 14 Patreons right now, and we appreciate every single one of you guys. So let's get on to the defensive side of the football here for a sec before we get into all the grades and everything. Zach Seiler, my dude, bro. If I could give a game ball out, and we'll give out our game ball in a bit as well, guys. And I'm pretty sure me and him are going to be giving it out to the same person. If I could give a game ball out for effort and impact alone on, he was really only became a vital part of that defensive side of the football in the second half. Imagine if we would have, when we started throwing out those 2-4-5 exotics, those 2-5-4 exotics, he was in the interior. When we went to the 3-man front, he was the anchor in the middle at the zero tech. Zach Seiler, brother, was continuously I won't even say disrupting. He was corrupting that pocket, bro. He was like a virus getting inside a computer. There was even one play where he dove and penetrated the pocket and got right to Minshew's feet, and he caused an incompletion up the right sideline. Zach Seiler was a man on a mission, and let me be honest, he outsnapped Devon Godchaux by the end of the game. And Flores was asked about that today, and Flores said, I went with the hot hand. Zach Seiler, someone they picked up last year, battled some injuries, perfect fit for this scheme coming over from Baltimore. Me and you have both been high on this kid since he came over, bro. Him and Jonathan Ledbetter were two guys on the bench, and you were really high on Ledbetter as well. But Zach Seiler, bro, he gave us more than what Raekwon Davis and Godchaux give us at that zero tech combined, in that interior combined, bro. In one half of football.
I agree, man. And, coming into the season, we talked about this, consistently in the offseason. The second half of the season last year, I'll say the last 3 to 4 games, this kid was flashing. You know what I mean? And when they brought him up off the practice squad, and they inserted him into the starting lineup. I think it was that Cincinnati game, I believe. This kid was flashing. And he's an athletic freak. If people are not aware of just how good of an athlete he is, you need to Google this dude. Very good athlete, powerful, heavy hands, very good anchor. I thought that we would see more of him early on. The first game, the Buffalo game, I'm curious to know what took so long for his implementation. You know what I mean? Because you saw the immediate production, and then they wait to the second half to throw him into the mix. So, maybe he was dinged up, maybe he was injured. I don't know, but clearly you saw the impact. He was making more impact he made more impact last night than I've seen Devon Godchaux make, obviously, at any point to start the season. So it's interesting to hear Flores say, well, sorry, my bad, bro.
No worries.
But to hear him say that, he was going with the hot hand and he stuck with him. You know what I mean? And we'll see how this, potential story starts to unfold about, Devon Godchaux's role in his defense. I'm gonna be paying close attention to that from here on out, especially if this kid keeps improving and giving us the production we saw last night. So yeah, I wanted to see more of him. He was a player that I was high on the interior this year. And I think what I saw when I went back and watched the tape, I saw him more, implemented more, in particular in the second half on that 3-man line. And yeah, he was holding up, successfully getting off blocks, taking on double teams, and he was disruptive in the passing game. And you saw it in terms of the overall, how we were able to pretty much control their running game. You know what I mean? And very encouraging to see. I just want to, again, another situation where I just need to see more consistency. But I love his overall skill set, love the scheme fit. So again, it's just all about that consistency. But Yeah, man, very encouraging to see, bro. Very encouraging.
Let me ask you this, bro. Kyle Van Noy, again, he suffered a little bit from missed tackles. He had 2 missed tackles. But those missed tackles aside, clearly his best game as a Miami Dolphin, bro. They had him playing more in the interior.
Is that a coincidence, you think? Is that a coincidence? I don't know.
They had Jerome Baker. If you guys watched, and I'll highlight it when we go into the All-22 when it does get released, but Landon Roberts, Camus Grugier-Hill, and Kyle Van Noy were seeing the majority of the interior snaps compared to Jerome Baker, who was lined up more as a will than on the interior, though he did see some snaps on the interior, but he was more on the outside. But Kyle Van Noy, bro, he was engaged. He was effective in the pass rush. He had the fumble and he recovered it. Kyle Van Noy, he laid the lumber a few times, just like Noah Benogany laid the lumber. Noah had a bounce back game. What did you think about Kyle Van Noy last night, bro?
Okay, that was the third game last night, right?
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, man, I guess I was right about that. What did I say? This is the third game of the season, and what did I say at the beginning of the season? By week 3, we would see the beginning of the end of this Jerome Baker experiment in that role. Did I not say that? Please,
yes,
people in the comments, please. Okay. Man, what took him so long? I don't know. Flores, bro. Look, listen. Okay, I'm not gonna kill you. Look, I've been critical of you the last, few streams, but better late than never. I'm glad he realizes finally that Jerome Baker is just not a fit in that role in the middle of this defense. And I think this is the beginning of the end of him in that being deployed in that format. Kyle Van Noy, I've been consistent, and I've been consistent about this since we got him. I don't know why, you give a player that kind of a contract, bring him in, you've got familiarity with him, you know what type of player you have there. Same system, same. I don't understand why Flores didn't make him this centerpiece of this defense, like they continuously tried to, they've been flirting around with Jerome Baker. Why that is, I have no idea, but I'm just glad. Hopefully it's over. But Van Noy, I've been consistent about his deployment in his defense. He needs to be the centerpiece, okay, in the middle of this defense on the interior, okay. He's just a more natural player. He's got the physical traits.
He's a smarter player.
At an extremely high level, huge football aptitude, high football IQ. You saw what kind of player he was in New England. Hopefully Flores will implement him more in that role, hopefully moving forward, because we saw the immediate production we got from him last night, in particular in the run game. And again, what did I tell you earlier today? Kyle Van Noy is the type of player. He needs to be deployed from the inside out as opposed to the outside in. What I mean is that's where the interior is where he needs to eat up the majority of his snap count when he's out there on the field. And you sprinkle him in on the outside and have him rushing and being disruptive, how they deploy him, at times on the outside. He doesn't need to be I don't want to see Kyle Van Noy primarily an edge player because he's not a dynamic pass rusher. He's just not. He don't have that ability. But he has enough to where you can deploy him there situationally. But I think his strengths are on the interior, again, the physical traits, the aptitude, everything you want from a player on an interior of a base.
Because you want the middle linebacker to be one of your smartest players on the field.
Exactly. In the communication you saw up front, it was on point last night.
Yeah, it was.
The previous 2 games. You didn't see.
You know why? He probably went to the sideline after that blown coverage on the Josh Allen run and said to Flo, "What is this guy? Why is this guy telling me what to do? Like, get this guy out of here, Bart."
Right. Right, right. So you saw that players being lined up, players were more sound in their gap responsibilities, which you saw the impact on the opposing team's running game that had. So it's not coincidence that we were able to minimize and limit them, in terms of the run game, which allowed us to get into these exotic packages and give.
And here's another thing: without Jerome Baker as the mic and basically calling the coverage and calling the plays, Bobby McCain had his best game of the season as well.
He did.
Because he didn't have to worry about the second level as much. Like, if you look at a lot of Bobby McCain's mistakes, he was coming off of his spot in the run game especially, and that was probably because he realized I got to make up for Jerome Baker because he's vacating the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
So
everything just seemed, it was just a clean game defensively. Like I said, players just were more sound. They were more disciplined. They were playing with their eyes. The execution, you just saw more consistency than you did the previous 2 weeks. And I don't think it's by coincidence. That is a direct result of having Kyle Van Noy. He had more of a presence on the interior of this defensive line. Yeah. So I want to see more of this moving forward. I thought this would be the approach to start the season. Mm-hmm. Why Flores was continue to flirt with Jerome Baker, I have no idea. But hopefully he's learned his lesson, and I want to see more consistency.
And again, Brandon Jones, brother, all over the field.
Love that kid. Love that kid.
Noah Benogany laid the lumber, and he looked like he bounced back pretty well. Another guy I want to talk to, though, Shaq Lawson had a really good game. But Andrew Van Ginkel, brother, he had his best game of the season. He saw a little bit of an increased snap count from 12 to about 20. And, bro, he was effective wherever they lined him up. He was actually effective coming off the edge last night as well, man.
Mm-hmm. But you look at how he was, when they opted to, implement him into the football game. Jacksonville, we had a 14-point lead. So Jacksonville had to throw the football to get caught up. So teams that run the football to get caught up, they throw the football. So bring him in again. In situationally, Van Ginkel can be, an asset in a situation like we saw last night. I don't want to see Van Ginkel up there where the game is close in the run game. The consistent run game is still a threat. I don't want to see him on the outside. I don't want to see him on the edge, period. But being deployed in this, situationally like we saw last night, he can be an asset because Jacksonville was, they got down 3 touchdowns. They had to consistently throw the football to get caught up. And again, we made them one-dimensional. Our approach last night was exactly what we saw how teams approached us consistently last year without the threat of a running game. So all we did was just pin our ears back. We were better in terms of our disguises pre and post snap. We implemented more. We were more sound in terms of our zone deployment. We were mixing in zone, man. We're bringing pressure, blitzes, overloads, a lot of twisting, a lot of stunting up front. And it just, when you can minimize and render teams one-dimensional, you can implement these unconventional, exotic, if you will, looks and approaches to teams. That's the objective of football, to make them one-dimensional, because it makes your scheming, play calling, everything else so much more easier. And that's what we saw last night. Again, I want to see more consistent, the play calling, the everything, the whole nine. I want to see more consistency from our defense moving forward.
Mm-hmm. I agree, man.
So, but if you look at the contrast to the Buffalo game, the reason why you didn't see these, a lot of what we saw last night is because the run game was always a threat. Yeah, the run game was always a threat.
You had to respect it. Yeah,
exactly. 5.8 yards a carry. If you minimize, that's why I said consistently before the season started, it's all about running and stopping that running game this year, the 2020 Miami Dolphins. And
establishing it and stopping it, right?
Exactly. So, yeah, man, it was encouraging to see, bro.
So let's go over some of these grades for everyone here. We'll go over the offensive grades and we'll go over the defensive grades, guys. So going over the offensive grades, Jakeem Grant was your highest graded player yesterday. He only had 8 total snaps, but he was effective when he was. He had a 91.9 overall grade. Ryan Fitzpatrick was your second highest graded player at 91.5 overall, 91.1 passing grade. Devontae Parker was your third at 73.3. Isaiah Ford was your fourth at 68.3. And then Adam Shaheen was your fifth at 67.6. Jordan Howard somehow, they got to explain this one to me, managed to make it to sixth. Must have been the touchdown.
That's why this is not the gospel.
Yeah, you guys are seeing exactly why. There are certain grades and analytics that make sense to your eye when you watch the All-22, and then there's certain ones where you're like, and I'll give you a perfect example of that right now, guys, as we head down. If you guys go a little bit down to the bottom, I'm not agreeing with a 54.6 for Austin Jackson. I'm not agreeing for a 36.9 overall for Solomon Kinley. I haven't seen the All-22, so I can't tell you how bad he really was in the run game yet, but I didn't see that bad of a grade in the run game. Like, again, another week, guys, where Jesse Davis looked like, to me, the weak link, and somehow he ends up in the middle of the pack, and there's been some weeks where he's ended up as our highest graded. So, that offensive line, we keep saying it every week, that offensive line alone is why you guys shouldn't be, you should be weary of some of the grades on here. Skill positions are easier to get correct, but Jordan Howard, they must have given him, a whole hell of a lot for, well, I mean, they only gave him a 60.6 run grade, which isn't that great, but, struggling. I don't get that. Your thoughts, bro? Your boy Mac Hollins made it there too.
The homie, I want to mention that little wrinkle we talked about, privately last night. That wrinkle we saw with him lined up as a third tight end in that 13 personnel package. I'm hoping we see that wrinkle, and I have a feeling that wrinkle will come up at some point. This is like a mini bold prediction. I guarantee you, I think we will see that wrinkle implemented at some point in the near future over the course of the season. And I think we will have a level of success with that wrinkle as well. But anyway, it's good to see the homie get a little respect. But
how happy were you, bro?
No, man, I'm just, again, high on his ability, bro. And I'm just high on his ability, man. If they can, if he can transition to tight end, man, you know what a weapon that would be with him and just.
Oh, here we go. I
mean, really, bro. I'm just saying. So
how many tight ends do we need in that room, bro?
4. You need 4, I would say. He can be that fourth guy.
You don't need 4. You need 3. This guy 4 tight ends. What team is carrying?
Really, with the durability issues of Shaheen and
until I see him on that injury report. Let's go say about the fade, man.
That almost happened last night, bro. So, but yeah, man. We'll see. But I mean, I don't have much to say about these.
Well, you will now. Let's get on to the defensive grades here. Shaq Lawson was your overall best graded defender at 90.3. Xavier Howard was number 2 at 83.8. Andrew Van Ginkel was number 3 at 81.7. Camus Gruger-Hill was number 4 at 77.4. Kyle Van Noy was number 5 at 76.9. But Zach Seiler, with only 31 total snaps, well, that's a lot, ended up at as your 7th best graded defender. I don't know if I'll agree with that fully. Here's the thing, though, bro. You got to go all the way to the bottom to find Landon Roberts once again, putting up dismal performance, 39.7 overall grade. And there's Jerome Baker sitting with another pretty low 50 grade. He was 53.8 in defense, and he was, again, 44.5 in coverage. Landon Roberts somehow managed to be 51.4 in coverage. Good for him. But again, you look at the bottom there, and
Yeah,
basically the two starting middle linebackers, even if one of them was playing more of a will role in game 3, they find themselves again in the bottom half, the bottom third of the grades from PFF, bro.
Yeah, they're atrocious, and you want the analytics to confirm what you see on tape, and this is a perfect example. I mean, Landon Roberts, my God, oh man, I never saw him playing like this in New England. I mean, not that he wasn't a starter, but he was a quality depth player for them, and he played well at times, while he was in New England, and I mean, he is like embarrassingly bad, and I just don't understand. Again, what are these guys doing in practice? Reason, you know what I mean? What are they doing? Why is it not? Because I just don't believe. I know Flores is just not putting these guys out there just to be putting them out there. You have to be showing them something in practice. Why is it not translating to the field? I just don't get on to Sundays. I don't get it. I don't understand that. But him and Jerome Baker, they need to scrap that. They need to scrap that experiment like right now. And moving forward, I like what I saw from Kamu Gruber-Hill. We all know how I felt about him. The day we signed him, I highlighted him that he's the biggest threat. I thought Jerome Baker would be gone at this point, but they opted to get rid of Raekwon McMillan. Why? I have no idea, because we can use a player with his skill set in this defense in 2020. So big mistake. Baker should have been the one you traded as opposed to Raekwon. But anyway, that's what it is. But I like what I'm liking what I'm seeing from Kamu Gruber-Hill. I love his physical skill set. We all know how we've highlighted his his abilities, and I just like the way he is in terms of engagement, playing through traffic. He doesn't look, he looks like he's a more disciplined player, and he just offers you more, and just overall athleticism. He just offers you more. He's a very, very good athlete. Like, people think Jerome Baker is a good athlete, which he is, but Kamu Gruber-Hill is twice the athlete Jerome Baker is. So I hope moving forward they make more of an investment. Obviously, I think Kyle Van Noy will be, they will deploy him more in that format, but I want to see Kamu Gruber-Hill lined up right next to him. I want to see more consistency. Those two players on the field more together moving forward. So, but Landon Roberts and Jerome Baker, they need to be buried they need to be buried at the bottom of the depth chart, in my opinion.
So here's some team stats just for comparison, guys. So the Miami Dolphins had 23 first downs compared to Jacksonville's 22. We were more efficient on third down. We were 7 of 13, whereas Jacksonville was only 3 of 10. Jacksonville was 0 for 3 on fourth down. We were 1 for 1. Rushing yards, we killed them. We had 138. Jacksonville only managed 72. Passing yards, we had 156 because you got to take the 4 off from the sack, whereas Jacksonville had 246 passing yards, and they actually had 275. But again, 4 sacks for a loss of 29 yards is why that's 246, not 275. They did get more yards than us in the game. 318 to 294. Again, they had 1 sack. We managed to get 4 sacks, my friend, which is obviously amazing to see considering the pressure we've seen through the first 2 weeks. We managed a turnover, that Xavier Howard pick, which was beautiful, where Minshew thought he could pick on Xavier Howard 2 plays in a row. Xavier got underneath the route, and it was a wrap. And again, just to confirm, guys, it has been clarified that when Xavier came up holding his leg, it was a cramp yesterday, so there's nothing serious. You look at the penalties, they had 8, we had 6. The time of possession, brother, almost 9 minutes in favor for us, bro. 34 minutes, 22 seconds compared to 25:38. So one of the keys to victories that we highlighted.
The key.
So, if we go, let's go over, let's go over that for a sec here, bro. When you look at the keys of victory that were used on our pregame show, they did a pretty damn good job. I know in week 1 they fulfilled some of our keys. In week 1 with making Cam beat you from the pot. Week 2, my bad. Week 2 they fulfilled keys, right? But let's go over them right now, quickly. So on the offensive side of the ball, it was get Gaskin Breda going early in that first drive. They got Gaskin going early. Win the possession battle, we did it. Almost 9 minutes total, right? And then no turnovers, bro. So last I checked, they, all 3 of those boxes, they ticked off, bro. And then when you look, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, which is why you see the domination on all, in all facets. So.
And then you go to the defensive side of the ball, bro. Minimize Minshew's ability to improvise and extend plays. Boom. I won't say we stifled James Robinson because he did have a good game. But improved communication and play calling, man. And we saw 2 of those keys. So out of our 6 keys, they completed 5 of them and they got the W.
And and we can use, and these are not just this game. This needs to be applied for the rest of the season, because I think this is the best chance the Dolphins are going to have for success this year. Is, again, establishing your running game. Time of possession is vital. Keeping our defense, minimizing opposing teams' offenses. Keeping our defense fresh on the sideline, and then when we get in there, when we are on the defensive side of the football, we're able to minimize the opposing team's running game and get them off the field, more consistently with 3 and outs, or don't allow teams to consistently sustain drives. And I think this is the best that approach. You know what I mean? Is the best way for the Dolphins to have success this year. And again, very encouraging to see, on all levels, that transpired last night, because, again, I just want to see more consistency. So that just didn't apply last night. I think this is the format, and you can apply this for the rest of the season, I think.
And guys, here's another little tidbit about our win yesterday. The Dolphins won a game by double digits for the first time since Week 13 against Denver in 2017. That snapped a streak of 38 straight games without doing so, which was the longest active streak in the NFL. And now the new longest active streak is the Detroit Lions at 18 games. So there's a little tidbit, something else, a little feather to everyone put on their hat regarding the game yesterday. And let's just go over a few of these next-gen stats for a sec here, bro. One thing that interests me here that you're going to see, look at the aggression rate of Fitzpatrick. As you remember, in his first week, he had an aggression rate of about 40%. Last week, 27%. And this week, it was down to 15%. It was still higher than Gardner Minshew, but it was nice to see that he didn't have to force the ball into as many tight window throws. And another little improvement here, even though it was less than Gardner Minshew, last week the time to throw for Ryan Fitzpatrick was about 2.17 seconds. This week it was about 2.5. And he ended up with a 90 completion percentage. He just balled out, bro. He played really well. Fantastic, man. Absolute great game by him.
Yeah, I think it was, it was many things that contributed to Fitzpatrick, his efficiency this week. Play calling start there. Obviously, the commitment to the running game. We had over 30-plus carries, I think. And again, we didn't, in terms of our yardage total, our yards per carry, we didn't necessarily, we obviously want those numbers to improve, but the commitment was there. And I keep trying to hammer that home to our fan base. As long as you're committed to the running game and the attempts are there, it forces teams to have to, account always for that running game, which opens things up. The play action is always in play. You play action off that running game. And when teams, again, when they have to account for that running game, it just opens the passing windows up, on the back end. And I thought that the play calling, the commitment to the running game, obviously Fitz's, decision making, his ball placement, his mechanics were relatively clean. Obviously, his improvisation, all of these things contributed to the overall efficiency that he was able to, establish on, last night. So, again, he threw the ball 20 times, bro. We put up a 31 piece on.
Yeah.
20 times. So that balance was always there. The balance was always in play. Again, what did I say at the beginning of the season? Another key to the season, balance. So as long as they stay committed, we might not lead the league in terms of overall yardage in rushing, but we need the commitment in terms of the attempts needs to be consistent, because the play action will always be in play at that point.
Mm-hmm. And here's another thing, because Next Gen only goes minimum 5 targets. Devontae Parker is the only one of our receiving core who made it here. Again, given a cushion of about 2.9 yards and only getting about 1.5 yards of separation, but 5 receptions on 5 targets for 69 yards.
But again, that I think those statistics are misleading. They're not that's not their game. They are they're big body types, and how they generate separation is their ability to use their body. You know what I mean? They're not.
Devontae Parker uses his route running to create separation as well.
Well, that too, but
it should be a little bit. It should be a little bit higher than 1.5 yards, though.
I agree, but I will say, even though he has vastly improved in that area, I still think his strong suit is is it how he utilizes his body, in his catch radius. So, but yeah,
I don't know. He was creating separate. He was beating Stephon Gilmore over the head with his route running ability.
No doubt. The season last night, and I gotta salute that man. Man, you see how he's not able to accelerate, man. Last night, he's hobbling, bro, and man, he's he said he's not gonna miss any more games, bro. And I gotta salute him.
And guys, after this video, I'm gonna tell y'all, go to GQ.com or go to GQ Sports on YouTube and go check out Tua Tagovailoa. It's about an 11-minute video on how he spent his first $1 million in the NFL, and he bought a BMW i8 drop top. So good for him. So let's go to our game ball, brother. So my game ball, I'm giving to Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know if you agree or not.
Oh, absolutely.
So, reason in EM's game ball, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who was 18 of 20 for 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, 133.3 passer rating, 7 carries, 38 yards, 1 touchdown, and he also had 1 reception for 0 yards, and that made Ryan Fitzpatrick only the second player since at least 1948 to have 2+ touchdown passes, 1+ rushing touchdown, 20+ rushing yards, and a reception in the single game. Who was the last player, EM? Walter Payton in Week 3 in 1983 against the New Orleans Saints.
Very good.
So kudos to Ryan Fitzpatrick on a strong game, and he gets our game ball hands down.
Please. Please start putting respect on this man's name. We are very lucky to have Ryan Fitzpatrick. As difficult that might seem, please start putting some respect on this man's name, because I'm telling you, he is playing. It's a shame how our fan base, they're so blinded by what he's done, in his previous, however long he's been in the league, the lack of consistency. But, going back to the second half of the season last year, this dude is playing at a very high level, and we need to appreciate it. We need to appreciate this man.
You know what's good, bro? We're sitting here celebrating a victory, but me and you are also celebrating the fact that we both locked in our PS5 pre-orders, bro.
Man, bro, you see that Drew? You see that foam? I'm foaming at the mouth. I cannot wait till it drops.
Oh, bro,
I cannot freaking wait.
I think I'm just gonna, that Cold War, bro. I think that's probably what I'm gonna rock off the rip.
Oh yeah. I'm not whenever it drops. I generally slow down in the month of November anyway. But when it drops, this might be too much information. But come the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, I ain't doing jack. But playing that damn system in my draws for 3 straight days, bro. That might be way too much information, but I'm just telling you right now, I ain't doing jack, bro. So I can't wait, man. Can't wait.
What are you getting on launch?
Call of Duty and Madden. Call of Duty, Madden.
Is Madden dropping on launch for us?
Well, they're saying it might be out a few days after launch, but that launch window. But
hey, look, bro! It's some guy who doesn't have his PS5 pre-ordered.
What's his name? Your name starts with a B, right? What's his name? What's his? I can't remember his name. Somebody in the comments. What's his name? B. It starts with a B. I forgot. Let me know. Okay. But what's good, homie?
Oh, it's good, y'all. I didn't hear anything you said. What's going on, fellas?
Yeah.
What's good?
Hey, Havoc, you weren't able to get a PS5, bro?
See, y'all got the luxury of having GameStops open. ain't
they're
quite
not
like
open
that.
for you?
Ain't quite like that in New York City yet. No, they're not open yet. So I gotta rely on the online for it. I gotta fight with all these 12-year-olds. And they got the fast twitch fingers, so they're gonna get on it.
So what happened today was I got in. Logan, you want my Call of Duty tag because my kill death ratio is over 1.5, bro. I'm the boy you want to talk to about Call of Duty. All right, EM, when me and this kid first played together, this man witnessed me. We're on, what was that level, EM? It was the one with it's got that factory in the middle where me and you were in that building and we were upstairs. And you could run out on the roof, or you could watch the people spawning at the back. And I went on like a 15. I got that chopper in on the first time we played, bro. Remember that? Yeah. Good time.
I must admit though, that damn Cold War looks absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous.
Everything on PS5 is looking real good so far.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that Spider-Man though.
Yeah. Sorry, this Xbox guy.
My bad. Hey, you there?
You know I'm not sure we should even allow him on this panel today, man.
From what I understand, those Xboxes are more than available. You can go ahead and pick one up any time of the day, any minute of the day.
I know, right?
Widely available.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't have no response about that.
Definitely. You need to come to the dark side, homie.
Never.
Get your life together, bro.
Get that trash box up.
Get together, man. Get on these exclusive these exclusive titles, man. Come on, man.
That goddamn Spider-Man looks insane as well, bro. That looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I'm looking.
My problem is I don't want to while out because it's a month and a bit before Christmas. But on top of that, Call of Duty and Madden are probably going to be taking up most of my. If you go out and get 3 or 4 games at launch, you're not going to get to all those titles. Like you're like right away. Like I pre-ordered Valhalla, and shout out to Jazza donating Australian $5. Fins up, love the content, guys.
Shout out to Australia as always.
There you go. But here's the thing: like I want to get Call of Duty. Madden's going to come out because I already bought it for PS4, so we get it right away. And then, bro, if I want to get Valhalla and Spider-Man and Call of Duty, I'm going to have no time. Like, 2 of those games are going to suffer.
I hear you, but you know what? At least for us who can't get the PS5, you got Cyberpunk 2077 coming out.
See, I'm worried about that game, bro. It's taking like 12 years to make that game. Unless they were waiting for Keanu Reeves, I'm really worried about that game, bro.
Hey, I got it on the pre-order, so I'm waiting on it. They say it's coming out in November, so we'll see.
It's coming out on, isn't it November 12th, right?
November 12th, yeah.
Yeah. Having, did you complete that Ghost of Tsushima?
Excellent game. excellent game. The only game better I played this year was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Really?
But Red Dead Redemption 2 is in a class by itself. But Ghost of Tsushima, man, it's just about right there with that game, in my opinion.
They gave me $20 for Red Dead 2.
Bro, that game came out like what, three years ago? That's a good deal.
3 years ago.
Yeah, that's a great deal. Usually they trying to give you $2 and a lollipop.
They gave me four. They didn't have the digital. Digital out here is $4.99. They didn't have it available.
Yeah.
Yo, that disc, they're hitting us with $629.99 out here. And I've got a 14% provincial tax. It's $7.11 after taxes. And they gave me $471 for my controllers and all my games.
Hey, you ain't gonna overcharge me for that Blu-ray disc drive. I'll take that digital edition.
Second best game
you
that
know
came
what?
out in the last 3 years.
You know what I'm gonna do, Havoc? I'm gonna go in there if pre-orders come back and digital's available. I'm going in there and I'm gonna switch it over to a digital. 2 reasons. 1, now it only costs me $28 for the system. 2, I firmly believe the digital is gonna have less issues than the disc, because disc always has issues in the first batch, man. Always. And there's gonna be less parts in the digital.
I never had any issue. Knock on wood, but I never had any issue with any of my stuff.
PS4. For PS4, it was discs not ejecting.
I'll tell you what.
Problem with the rubber piece.
Back in the day, in like the 360 days, I turned in 3 Xbox 360s.
Yeah, because
during the time that I had it.
Bro, they had faulty fans. They released them with faulty fans,
bro. I was like, I'm never going back to Xbox.
That was PS3 there.
Well, I'll say that I never had an issue. I never had any issue with my PlayStations. I did have an issue with my Xbox though.
Mm-hmm. Everybody has.
Bro.
Xbox.
Do you know how many times I got the red ring, bro, on the Xbox, on the first Xbox and then the 360, man?
3 times.
Bro, I've told you, I was literally sitting there one day, playing FIFA like 2 p.m, and the screen goes black and the red ring right in the middle of my game. This is like in 2010. So I just literally got up off my ass and I got an Elite because the Elite had just came out.
I haven't had that issue with my Xbox One ever.
All right, I gave up. I was like, Sony, you're up.
This was 360. That was 360.
I was like, Sony,
I'm a
my
Nintendo
one,
guy.
I just got rid of. I got rid of my one. I got rid of my one because as a PS5 user, the only reason for my one was like Gears of War and exclusive titles like that. Other than that, I had no reason for it at all.
Yeah, I feel you. The only reason why I messed around with the 360 was because I was heavy into Fable at the time, and I was like, "Yo, that's the only way I'm gonna be able to play Fable."
Let's be honest, 360 was a way more user compatible and friendly online system than what the PS3 was at the time, bro. Especially for Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 1 and 2.
Yeah,
360 dominated, bro. Dominated, man. So
they're more on par now.
Yeah.
Oh no, now it's PS5. Yo, PS4. Like they won that console war, like hands down, bro. Like sales wise too, right? Like
dominated, like 2 to 1, I think.
And also, you look at the exclusive titles. Xbox just doesn't have the juice that Sony has. I mean, you're talking about the Metal Gear Solids of the world. They Xbox has Gears of War. That's basically it.
And Halo,
yeah.
And yo, here's the thing. Did you hear how many they're projecting for PS5 in the first, before the release? 200 million units. Do you know how much money that is? That's like $100 billion, man.
That's a lot, yeah.
Bro, that's something else, man. That's something else. That just goes to show you perfect timing too, to be releasing a new gaming console.
Yep.
Right when everyone's stuck in their house. Oh, I think we'll release a brand new, all the bells, all the whistles.
Yeah. And we'll jack the game prices by $10 a piece.
Of course.
Oh, they have to. They have to. And that's without shipping out disc. Like they're gonna charge you that same money with or without the disc.
Yeah.
Man, that's robbery.
The one thing I will say, I don't know how it is for you guys, but out here, I buy my games digital. Like I was amazed I found 28 games to trade in. But I buy my games digital and they don't charge tax. I don't know how it is for out there, but if it's like for a games out here are $79.99, they're going to be $89.99 with next gen. But if it's $79.99, that hits the credit card or whatever at $79.99, and with 14% tax in store at like our EB, which is GameStop, it's just under $94 with taxes for the actual hard. So it makes no sense. You're saving $14 a game, man. You buy 5 games, and that's like a brand new game, basically.
Right? Exactly, yeah. Like you buy 5
and
with one free.
I mean,
here's
but
another thing that turned me off about Xbox, Damien.
What's up?
When I went into my Xbox One and I started buying digital games, they were charging me tax. I was like, "Oh no, you did not, Microsoft."
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it as Sony trying to undercut that resale market that GameStop been feasting off of for how many years now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
GameStop needs to start. They need to start renting games if they're smart, bro.
Yeah, but then Sony basically PlayStation Plus is basically Sony's rent a game service to a certain extent. So you know, if you're gonna do a rent a game service, you're gonna have to do that digitally. People, I don't think this ain't Blockbuster Video Times anymore. You know what I mean? Like.
people still go to GameStops and EBs though, man.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's
I do too.
True.
I mean, I still purchase all my games physically. So I mean, I hadn't totally converted over. I don't think I've ever purchased anything like a game digital, bro. I don't think I've ever done that.
Last game, nope. I got Mortal Kombat 11 last year. I got that in store. But then, you know, the upgrade I got digitally. I don't do. I do everything digitally.
Did you get your pre-order done, David?
No, I'm not worried about that.
Bro, the pre-orders are widely available, bro. Don't worry about it.
I didn't want to talk about that. Well, no. That first day on the 22nd, everything crashed though. Everything did crash.
Oh yeah, bro. I was in line today, so
everything crashed on Xbox first day.
I was there about a week and a half ago for the first release, and I was 12th in line, and they only had 8. Today I got there an hour before the store opened. I was 10th in line, and they had 20, and it was all the disc or whatever. But the one thing I would note, there was 2 people in line when at about 11:05 the units went live on the website, and these guys they punched in all their Visa card information. They got to basically where you hit the confirm. And then all of a sudden, they were getting like input errors. And then other people in the line were going to the website and they weren't even getting the landing page. They were just getting a page that says you're in queue. Like they were literally putting people in queue to access the website.
Yeah,
I feel you. That's just like because I'm a sneakerhead. That's just like me on the Nike on the sneaker app. When I'm about when exclusives
on a big release.
Yeah. I guess that shit is sickening. I know what they're going through.
Hey man, it's one of those things, you know, where you look at that release date, you line up your work schedule with the release date. You tell everyone to leave you alone. You get your little stack of soda, your little stack of beverages. You get yourself a little stack of snacks right here, and you don't move for 2 to 3 days.
No, I told you.
You don't move.
I'm not doing a damn thing for 3 straight days, bro. 3 straight. You
don't even look in my direction.
It's real, man. It's real.
So what were your guys' final thoughts about the game last night now that you guys have had 24 hours to process?
Landon Roberts is trash. Ron Baker is trash. What else do I got? Jordan Howard stealing money. The positives, because they're all positive. Fitzy played great. He protected the football. Gaskins is clearly our number 1 running back. Chan Gailey called a beautiful game, and he got people involved. He got Jakeem Grant involved, you know, running the end around at him. He was using motion, scheming people open. Yeah. And what I heard y'all say about Kaseki, I put in the comments. He is a H-back. He's not your conventional tight end.
Yeah,
he's an H-back. He's a weapon. He's a nightmare for linebackers and safeties. Aaron Hernandez, Chris Cooley. He's an H-back. He is a weapon, and that's what he is. And Smythe got involved in the game, and also Smythe is a serviceable blocker. You're not saying he's Gronk, but that's like our combination, you know. And like I think like The offense, I think, is clicking. Those first games were clearly our preseason. It's clicking. Van Noy, calling defense and not Baker it's going to make a big difference. And I will say this: we got 10 days to prepare for Seattle. Not saying I'm betting money against Seattle. I'm just saying Seattle defense is terrible. Yeah, they can score 40, but they'll give it up. I'm not saying we're going to beat them. I'm just saying we have a puncher's chance, y'all.
I think their defense
protects the ball.
I think their defense has played beneath their potential, to be honest with you.
Yeah, on paper you would think because they have the best linebacker cores of football.
Yeah, and they're not even and they're like giving Quentin Dunbar sparingly snaps, and yet he's still making plays and not elevating to Quandre Diggs is struggling this season so far as well. You can tell Jadeveon Clowney's a little bit missed on that front.
They're supposed to get Snacks Harris.
Snacks Harrison was visiting with them this week. Yeah,
he's going to probably sign with them.
I do think, especially from that second level to the secondary, they're playing beneath the talent level right now.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, I'll just say about the game. I'll just say about the game,
And we beat them last time they traveled.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
And like once again, and I keep saying it over and over again, like we're in the middle of a top to bottom rebuild. So I'm just looking for progress. And when I look at our offense, I see progress. I mean, you see Gasecki starting to solidify not just his role in this offense, but kind of his place in this league right now as a legitimate threat. You see in Jordan Howard out here just like cashing his checks with the ski mask and sunglasses on. Like, don't look at my face when he's cashing his checks. He's like, hey, what's your name? Jordan Howard. What's your name? Jordan Howard. Cash a check. You're looking at I'm looking for Chan Gailey because I thought Malcolm Perry would be a dude that would be involved in the gadget plays, but it looks like Jakeem Grant is on that kind of that gadget, those end arounds, those type of plays, keeping the defense off balance. In terms of the defense, I mean, it's clear as day that the Jerome Baker, Landon Roberts experiment does not work. Like that is not this just on its face. The idea of Jerome Baker trying to tell Kyle Van Noy what to do on a football field is absurd. Absurd. So I look for us to have some type of a resurgence of legitimacy, particularly in the middle, with Van Noy being able to anchor that. Perhaps, maybe Gruger Hill gets some snaps in there. Maybe Van Ginkel gets some snaps in there. All I know is that combination is bad news bears. It don't work. And
it doesn't work.
And I think particularly just that one adjustment will improve our defense dramatically. But like I said,
you saw it last night.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just looking for progress. And Zach Sailors are able to hold down the middle in the second half of that game. Mm-hmm. You telling me you have better communication across the defensive front with Van Noy as a play caller there at the mic role? I mean, it's only up from here because once you see your middle linebacker get choke slammed, it can't get any farther down.
I'm disappointed in Raekwon Davis too.
Hold on, I just want to shout out to James Griffin for the $5 donation. He says, finally, the team we've been waiting to see. Love my man Gaskin taking that starter job. Tough runner. Love you guys. Keep it up. Fins up, baby. Appreciate you, James.
Appreciate that, James.
Shout out to you.
Appreciation.
Yeah, man. But that's a wrap on it. I mean, I think what we're looking for right now is building upon what we did today, particularly not just the players on the field, but the coaching staff having a better idea of the skill set of our players and having a plan like Chan Gailey had a plan for the first half with our offense, having a plan that better suits our offense right now because Chan Gailey, he dialed up an almost flawless game plan in the first half and obviously dialed it back, was more conservative in the second half. So, look for more cohesion as the season goes on. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Even the play calling got reared back, but even the blocking wasn't as good in the second half in the run game as it was in the first half too.
They took their foot off the gas.
It was like almost as a unit they started to take their foot off the gas a little bit, which I know some people in Dolphins land today were kind of giving them the business for doing that. But I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, we won the game. We won by 18 points. I'm not going to sit here and cry over spilt milk that they didn't put up another 14 or 21 in the second half. Where very well, that game could have got out of hand if they would have kept the foot on the pedal. And I'm talking out of hand, like that game should have been. We should have put up 42.
Oh yeah,
and
again, you put up 40.
And again,
we could have, right?
Yeah.
Like for sure.
I think so.
And again, scaling things back in terms of play calling. I mean, you don't want to show everything. You want to show every card you have.
Good
bro.
point. Good point.
You want to keep that, So, bro, I don't get that, but I understood why they took that approach, and bro, it's about the W, man. It's about the dub, baby. Period.
And they covered it and went over.
Mm-hmm.
for the degenerates out there,
like me.
But yeah, I mean, clearly, I think the directive from the beginning of the third quarter was, we're gonna run this out. We're not gonna give them opportunity. We're not going to put ourselves in an opportunity to beat ourselves. We put ourselves in a position to win. Let's just ride this out. Let's just run this out.
Got a little shaky there when their conservativeness, it was 28-13, and we gave the ball back to them.
Yeah.
And we gave the ball back to them, and they were one score away. And I know it was in the third quarter, and everyone was holding their breath because they were one score away from it being, like Damien said, typical Dolphins, and we let them back in the game. That was my problem with not keeping the foot on the throat in the third quarter. Instead, if it was 35-13, they were getting the ball back, game's a wrap. They can go do whatever they want, and it's a wrap.
I'll tell you, when Igbenogany got caught peeking in that backfield, and he bid on that double move, and and that receiver got wide open, man. I tell you, I was feeling a little queasy.
Clear as day. Clear as day.
Queasy.
Man.
Yeah, so.
And Logan Hampton's right. We're going to need more than 160 passing yards against Seattle.
Yeah, but they're going to give it to us. They're going to give it to us.
Maybe.
They're going to give it to us.
I can see. I expect about at least 250 from Fitz.
Gaskins has to be the key, though, because we have to keep Russell Wilson off the field.
Well, we have to be able.
25.
We have to be able to keep up with their scoring. Like, ain't nothing wrong in terms of scoring with Seattle so far this season. So we have to be able. We can't with a team like Jacksonville. I personally don't agree with take your foot off the gas, just run out the clock. I think you just got to keep going. But a team like Seattle, man, you gotta keep your foot on the gas until the game is over, because that Russell Wilson, he will mess up your whole week if you let him.
He's the best player in the league right now.
Damien looking over at that TV like, yo, you need to turn that down right now. You see the look he gave over there? He's like, yo, what is this? He's like, yo. Check yourself right now. I like that. Oh, classic, bro. I saw the look in his eyes, bro.
We all know that look.
Yeah, he wasn't playing with whatever was in the background there. You gotta love it. No, like I do. Another thing is gonna be, and this is what was my problem with also taking your foot off the gas.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Gaskin got out of his rhythm in the second half. That rhythm you established with his 10 carries in the first half, his 10, 11 carries in the first half, you could tell he lost a little bit of the momentum, because all of a sudden you started mixing in other guys a little bit more. Fitz was tucking and running a little bit more. They actually had a designed run for Fitz at one point. Like you could tell, like they were passing the ball a little bit more. Like Gaskin didn't have that same rhythm, and the offensive line as a unit didn't have that same rhythm in the run blocking that they had in the first half as well. Like you could tell. That was my only problem with keeping the foot off the pedal as well. So
they were running in between the tackles a lot in the second half, like almost exclusively running in between the tackles.
Yeah.
But
and then those holes weren't there in the second half and between the tackles up the middle.
But again, it's all about the commitment. It's all about the attempts. More is the most important thing when you talk about the run game, and the fact that they stayed committed to it, even though they didn't have the same level of success in the second half that they had in the first half. They need to maintain. That needs to be maintained.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that first half game plan had some flavor. You know, I had some lemon pepper, had some mango habanero, had some Cajun seasoning up in there. But man, that second half, man, that was just straight original.
Well,
lightly salted.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hey, hold
That
on.
was tough.
Hold on. That run for Gaskin to seal it with Mac Hollins and tight
That was-
end, you could say that was a
The
little garlic
homie.
parmesan.
Listen, from what I understand, Mac Hollins, you know, excellent in the flats. Every time the Dolphins win, that's 50-cent wings. So Mac Hollins winning is winning for all of us.
The
Seattle
salt and
49ers and Broncos.
homie.
Can we be 4-3
The homie.
after that?
What's good?
Seattle 49ers and the Broncos. Can we end up 4-3 after that?
I mean, if the 49ers roll up with half of their team, like it looks like
Which
they're
they
about
are.
to.
They are. We're not going to.
I mean, I looked at the headlines. They're talking about Nick Mullins is starting. So I don't know. I don't know what 49ers team we're gonna see.
They had their second string, third string running back. No Kittle, no Debo.
That's tough.
George
No
Reed
Bosa,
starts.
no Bosa.
You know what?
Yep.
No Richard Sherman.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
That's a lot.
Broncos, no Lock, no Sutton. Judy's banged up. I'm just saying.
No Von Miller.
No Von Miller.
We trying to get some of those Buffalo Bills wins that they're getting last season. But the Buffalo Bills were playing teams like every time the Buffalo Bills were getting wins against teams, like half their team was injured. Playing teams with no, they were out here beating teams with no winning records last season, racking up on these battered teams last season.
Seattle
that's what it looks like.
Country.
We may be able to do it. To be seen, though.
Maybe, baby.
I'm just saying.
You know something though. I think we offensively. I think we match up. I think we match up well against Seattle, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know, the fact that their secondary has been struggling, and the fact that they have no pass rush.
Yeah,
none.
Well,
absolutely none.
Also take into account. I mean, from even though we haven't necessarily, because we're still rebuilding, obviously, but we're not getting pushed over. Like them days is done.
You know something?
We're in every game.
You know what happened? It's funny you bring that up. Even though we're 1-2 right now, and we lost against New England, and we didn't look overwhelmed at any point in any of those games. You know what I mean? We gave up plays, but yet we were still competitive. We could have easily, with all of our issues, come out. We could be sitting here 3-0 right now.
Fundamental mistakes is how we lost. Fundamental and mental mistakes. That's how we lost. Mostly from the linebackers and Bobby McCain on that fucking deep play.
Yeah, the entire middle of our defense, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's up, Shake Money?
Hey, what's good, y'all, man? I just
what's good,
I wanted to say what's up to everybody, you know.
It's good, homie.
Hey, one thing though, you know what? Every time I saw Mac Hollins on the sideline, I heard a little voice saying, going, I spit on the face to people who want to be cool.
Carlito?
Yeah,
Carlito's way.
Yeah. That's the homie
give Mac Hollins an apple and let him go.
Yeah, man.
Listen, man. If the Miami Dolphins were smart, man, they link up with us. They get the Wingstop, collab going. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go, man. But Mac Hollins, great in the flats, 50-cent wings, and the Dolphins win. Let's get it together.
Where's
Pepper
Rhino?
Poppy.
Where's Rhino at tonight? Rhino, I see you in the comments, man. You're not going to join us?
What are you talking about? The garlic parmesan prince, bro?
The lemon pepper poppy, bro. That's you know the one,
bro.
The mango habanero maestro.
The salt and sauce.
Oh man, y'all wild with it, bro.
The Cajun King himself.
Yeah. Bro, I thought we agreed on Cajun sensation, but I'll roll with it.
Oh man, I'm going back in my word. My bad.
The Korean barbecue boy.
Man, Mac Hollins gonna mess me up when he sees me in the streets.
Yeah, bro. You better get busy with them hands when he tries.
You better stay in New York. Don't go anywhere near Miami, bro.
What about our punter, man?
As a matter of fact, when Jerome Baker goes to Wingstop, he's gonna come out with the Buckeye wings.
Bro, he needs to get an application, bro, because Him and the Landon, man, they need to get their resumes together because they ain't looking too good.
Buddy, they can work the interior of those fryers, bro.
Okay. Yeah. I take man, bro, they're taping.
Hey, you know what? And Jerome Baker's athleticism, you'll never see an employee move from the fryers to the saucing station as fast as Jerome Baker. Let me tell you that.
And be happy about it too.
Yeah.
And give you enthusiasm at the same time.
And you know what's
and
funny?
when he served you his wings.
You know what's
and
funny?
when you serve the wings, you go, Jerome's in the house.
Watch your mouth.
And then you got to serve some to his mama too. But here's my thing with Jerome Baker. He hasn't even come close to that 16 tackle week 1 performance. It had to be the game where we allowed 217 yards rushing because it was continuously at the 5, 6, 7 yard past the line scrimmage level. So
I told you that was the most unimpactful 17 tackle game in the history of the NFL, bro. And people, the tweets, Jerome Baker, 16 tackles, 17 tackles. He had a great game. He's getting it now. He's balling. I was just like, oh my God.
Reese, I got something to ask you too.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry for cutting you off, EM. I'm sorry.
No,
this was draft, because this could affect us. Pac-12 is starting back up November 6th. Is Ponai Sewell, is he going to opt back in? They're giving them the option. They're giving all of them the option.
You're seeing a lot of players
opted back in for the Big Ten.
Yeah, Rondell Moore opted back in yesterday too. A lot of players are starting to opt back in right now.
Yeah, you think Sewell is going to opt back in? Because all these other players opt back in is going to be tape. Even though Sewell doesn't need to have tape, but it can affect you being a top 3 pick. It could seeing somebody live, they can jump up in the board, even though we know he's more talented.
Yeah.
And I'm sure his agent is going to be in his ear with that same type of information. So I'm wondering.
If I'm projected to go in the top 10, there's no way I'm opting back in.
Yeah, but top 3 is a lot. The money, isn't the money a little bit different? Top 3.
From 1 through, I'd say 1 through 6, the money is pretty close.
Yeah,
Tua got 35 guaranteed, and I think Burrow got just around 40.
Because we gotta look at the teams that possibly is going to be in the top 5. The Jets, they're probably going to move off Donald, even though I don't think they should. They probably will. The Giants,
here's the
they're
thing.
probably going to move off Danny Dimes.
Even I heard earlier this week, Penn State's talking about and trying to get Micah Parsons to opt back in too.
And they probably will. They will pay him under the.
They're saying there has been healthy dialogue between the coaching staff and Parsons about opting back in.
He's gonna probably have him a new whip, and parents are gonna have a new home and everything.
Didn't Jamar Chase opt back in?
I think so. I don't think he's playing tomorrow, but
They about to have a healthy dialogue with Micah Parsons. They about to have a healthy dialogue with Micah Parsons' family about getting everyone a brand new vehicle.
No, he
get around.
He opted out and declared.
Yeah.
He did? Chase declared?
Yeah. So I don't think he's coming back in.
Yeah. Nor should he go back.
Yeah.
Would anybody entertain the prospects of Alex Leatherwood to Miami?
Yeah, he's all right. I'm not that high on Alex Leatherwood, bro. He's all right. He's all right, man. Like I told yesterday, someone in the comments was like, "Hey, would you draft Alex and kick him to right tackle?" And I was like, "No, I'd rather go get Abraham Lucas from Washington State, natural right tackle, and just throw him there." Alex Leatherwood's all right. There's some tackles I like better, like Samuel Cosme from Texas. I like him better. Nick Radens from North Dakota State. I like him better. So there are I think Alex Leatherwood is kind of overhyped because of where he plays. That's my personal opinion.
And also, speaking
I would take Creed Humphrey for my interior center before I'm taking Alex Leatherwood. I'll tell you that much.
Also, the Jets are reevaluating Andrew Thomas every day because right now he is playing like like Eric Flowers at left tackle when he was with the Giants.
You mean
It ain't looking pretty.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They may be back. They may be back in the market for a left tackle next year.
You had people actually wanting us to pass on Tua
To draft Andrew Thomas.
to
draft Andrew Thomas. Yeah,
I remember those
I'm
people.
not going to name any name, but hey, ball game, I'm not.
I
taking
remember
your back
those
on this
people.
one.
I know, right?
Ball game, I can't have your back on this one. So
I know, right?
Crazy.
Look like Kinley made that side of the line look real good.
It looks like Kidley was a little bit more of an impact than what people gave him credit for.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a weird. It's always a weird situation when there is a left tackle that's like people are like, man, this is a safe bet. This is the sure thing, and then you see him on the field, and it's like, yo, this dude's playing like trash. This dude's playing like trash right now.
I watched.
It's not looking good.
Game. He was terrible the first game of the season. I tell you what, a team that I despise. I hate giving them any credit, but Mekhi Becton.
Yeah, bro.
This young dude, man.
EM loved him. EM loved him.
Man,
Orlando
that was my
Pace
dude.
pancake.
Yep. Tristan Wirfs was my guy, and Becton was legit. Guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, he's Orlando Pace pancaking dudes like
you know what's funny?
into each other.
You know what's funny? The
And
first
pointing
one
at him too.
Hey, Reason, real quick. Did you see Kinley Ed Oliver? Oh my God!
He hooked him and tossed him, bro. He hooked his under his arm and just tossed him, bro. But this is what I'm gonna say. Let me put it in perspective. I know we're only 3 weeks in. Tristan Wirfs looks like exactly what I was telling everyone he's gonna be. Jedrick Wills is even surprising me at how good he's been when they've had him on the left side. Austin Jackson, I think, has surprised everyone for how well he's played, because everyone expected to see what he's playing in like 2 years. Like they didn't expect what they're seeing right now.
Yeah.
And then you add in Mekhi Becton. Man, this might be one of the strongest tackle classes in recent memory, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then you throw in first round line. You throw in Cesar Ruiz too, man. Just offensive line wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah. And you're looking
all line coach too. All line coach putting in.
But you know what? You know what surprised me about Andrew Thomas is they got good coaching too. So it's not that coaching.
Here's my thing, like, and I've pointed this out before, and EM will remember this. Something's going on in New York with left tackles, okay?
I know.
Eric Flowers.
It's that nightlife, bro.
Eric Flowers busted out.
Nate Solder
busted out. And now Andrew Thomas is having issues, man. I don't know I don't know what technique or who they're hiring out there, but it ain't looking pretty.
It's that city life, man. They can't keep their head on straight. You know, lack of focus.
That's what they say about the Knicks.
It's just
too much going on in New York, bro. Too much.
They could be playing like in Idaho and we'll still be terrible, man. We just, God, no.
You're a Knicks fan, right?
Yeah, sad to say.
How are you a Knicks fan? I don't get it.
Well, Patrick Ewing, man, when I was a kid, man, you know, he's a Georgetown legend, so I just followed Pat when I was a kid, just like Marino. I saw Marino play when I was a kid, when I was 7, and I was hooked.
Man, you bought all that Patrick Ewing stock, didn't you?
Did I? Been disappointed ever since, man. It's been tough, man.
Should have bet on Zoe. Sorry, brother.
It's been tough. Oh, yeah, I hate the Heat. That's why I hate the Heat. Shout out to them Celtics, too.
Man, we're going to get him. Heat 6. Let's go.
Up, baby.
Heat 6. You know the vibes.
I don't know, man. I think Miami matches up really well with the Lakers, though, if they win.
Yeah, because they can shoot the 3.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think Bam matches up extremely well with Anthony Davis. The only thing is, you know, the Heat, man, they just have no answer for LeBron James. You know,
Nobody does.
Except the Clippers, but
Pat Riley will have an idea.
The Clippers didn't have a solution for themselves. So the Clippers bounced themselves out the club.
That's got to be the biggest choke, one of the biggest. And I don't know why that's not getting enough media coverage, but that's got to be one of the biggest choke jobs in sports. I would say even sports history, bro.
That organization's cursed, bro. That organization.
Oh man,
I missed it. What did you say?
They couldn't get it done with Lob City. They can't get done with Kawhi and Paul George.
Mhm.
I mean,
man, bro.
look,
It's culture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a losing culture.
All right, hold on a
You gotta
sec.
change it.
We're getting off topic, so we'll continue this.
Yeah, we're talking about
conversation.
basketball.
Well, hold on.
My
We'll,
bad.
we'll continue this backstage. We hit the 2-hour mark. I'll let y'all guys give final thoughts, and we can continue this backstage. All right. So hold on. Never mind. Hold on a sec, boys. I see y'all coming backstage. I'll give y'all a minute. So we got 82 and Pyromancer. What's good, guys?
What's going on,
What's
fellas?
What's up? What's up?
Good, guys.
What's good, boys?
82. I saw you in the comments talking about EM. Stop it. What was you talking about?
oh, now you're quiet.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no.
I'm trying to remember what was the topic.
He don't even remember. It's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
Yo.
You was like, EM, stop it. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? But,
Bro, it's just, you got classic quotes, man. You got stop it, buffoonery, foolishness. EM's greatest hits.
And then just a finger.
I like it.
oh my god. yeah. Man. I
It's
tell
gotta be
you,
a shirt, man.
I tell you what I found comical earlier today. I mean, I'm not calling no names, but you know, these videos about how they were so critical of these players, and then now all of a sudden they're making videos in support of these players that you were just critical of. You know what I mean? Just a week ago,
Bro,
you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'm the flip-flopping.
Bro,
The
people
flip-flopping is ridiculous.
flip-flopping more than a pair of sandals on the beach, bro. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, bro, say something and stick to it and stand on it. Come on, man. I'm just like, oh, well, you know, that's what it is.
So you know it's
Yeah,
your
That's
man.
what it is.
Hey, did you see what I put out there earlier?
What's that?
And you already know what the deal is on this, bro. Let me put it up here for a sec for everyone to
Don't
see.
do it. Don't.
Don't do it. No.
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 Do it. Okay.
Ah.
Okay. You're scaring the hell out of me.
Oh, my God.
Out.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
Scaring the hell out of me.
absolutely. No, you want to save that. You want to save that. No.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I feel the same way, bro. I feel the exact same way. I saw that. I was
100%.
like, absolutely.
Bro, you know how hard it was to find a GIF with two people holding a pair of binoculars, bro?
Yeah.
The struggle was real.
No, because from last time I checked, I saw people literally foaming at the mouth talking about he's trash and how a
Rabid.
practice squad quarterback should be leading our team. That's
Yeah.
the last I heard.
Yeah, the guy who in the last 2 weeks has produced 59 points on offense. Just saying. That's
My thing was the first game, 217 yards given up on the D. That's a little bit more of a concern.
That's an issue.
bro. People out here trying to argue with me after that first game that it's on the offense when the offense basically was off the field for the whole third quarter.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Like, what are you talking about right now? If your
Crazy.
defense stepped up, maybe we would have had some more possessions in the third quarter, and we could put some points on the
Exactly.
freaking
That's
board.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Like we give up over 200 yards rushing. We don't see the ball in the third quarter, and you asking people, what's the problem with the Dolphins? Like, you know what the problem is? Tua.
207.
Mhm.
I didn't know Tua played defensive tackle. I didn't know he
I
played
know,
linebacker.
yeah.
I didn't know
I
he
know,
played
right?
50. What's the problem? Like, is that
I
the
know,
problem?
right?
I just
Well,
say
here's the thing. Here's the thing. All these people that wanted Tua to come in the first 2 weeks, did you want Tua to come in and play quarterback, or did you want him to play middle linebacker and free safety?
I know,
Because
right?
unless he was going to be playing middle linebacker and free safety and maybe some snaps at the zero tech,
Same result.
he wasn't going to change the needle, man. He wasn't going to
No,
move the needle, bro.
Let's
At all.
be honest here.
Ridiculous.
If he could, he would be
Ridiculous.
the best draft pick ever.
Yeah, and do you realize this? In week 2, to win that game, he would have had to put up more than 31 points in his debut.
Mhm.
Ridiculous.
That's a fact. That's a
Hey,
fact.
Go look at how many quarterbacks have done that in their career, in their debut, and get back to me.
But
Right.
reasons.
And
Tua
again,
was surrounded by better talent in Alabama, so Miami has less talent. And he has NFL talent, so he should at least do as good. I mean, come on.
I learned something in statistics class. There is a term, and it is very key. correlation does not always equal causation.
Thank you.
Just because you had talented
Absolutely.
players at Alabama does not mean day one in the NFL against Bill Belichick at New England, you're going to throw 100 touchdowns. Come on now.
But
Come on
again,
now.
these but I could remember somebody had projected to throw 39 touchdowns.
40.
Was it 40? Was
It
it
was
40?
40,
Okay.
I believe that would annihilate the rookie touchdown record.
Hey, all I gotta say is this:
And-
someone clearly didn't do a simple Google search of checking what the record was, because if they did, there's no way that number would have came out of their mouth, bro.
And these are respected football-minded individuals.
By
in the
who?
community.
By who? By who?
Hey, EM.
By who?
Hey, EM. That same
Not by
someone
people
is
who
called.
know football.
Hey, that same someone is calling for Baker to play middle linebacker. That's his best position.
Oh, wait, stop.
Yeah, I was listening today, bro.
Hold on.
Stop
I was listening today.
Hold on a sec. If he's
Stop the
saying,
stream.
if someone's saying something like that, then they're gonna really like what we drop next week.
Oh,
It's
good
gonna
Lord.
make-
Oh
it's
my
gonna-
God.
Dude,
it's gonna-
I was in the comment section. I was trying to please stop
Bro.
it with this crap.
No,
man.
never
Is that
mind,
recent?
bro.
When was
Bro.
that? Dawson at 82. When was that?
That was about 4 or 5 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me tell you all
ridiculous.
this. You've heard of someone having egg on their face? Our film analysis is going to basically have the chicken shit all over your face. Never mind put an egg all over your face. So, I mean, that's what I got to say about that, bro. Like,
I was saying stop it today when you said Mac Hollins is should be a tight end. That's why I said stop it.
And he
Well,
won't last.
I
He
mean,
won't last. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, I said stop it. He won't last 2 games.
Hang on. Do you realize how big this dude is? He's 235
Yeah.
pounds, bro.
Yeah.
Do you realize how
that?
injury prone he is?
look at that hole he
Well,
opened up for
well,
Gaskin to clinch the game.
Well, you
It
know
was
what?
nice.
Well,
It was
you know
nice.
what, though?
That was
You know
our.
what,
I
though?
will say this: Mac Hollins in the second half, he opened the biggest hole for Gaskin
It's
that
true.
wasn't in the first half.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what? You know what though?
Yeah.
From a durability
Yeah, he did.
concern, that's from a durability standpoint, that's legitimate. But he's 235 pounds, bro. And again, the Dolphins. You remember those reports now?
In the training camp.
That they were saying they saw him, playing tight end. So obviously the Dolphins feel they have some level of comfort with him at that position, or else they would not be trying to transition him to that position.
Well,
Yeah,
all I can say to that is that wing preparation is paying off.
Hey,
You know what?
Mac Collins got so many jobs now. He's log snapper. He is tight end. He's special teams. I mean, he's got too many jobs now. He's
He's a
You know what though?
Team
Hey,
wing specialist.
the more jobs. Hey, look, you know how Flores is about the more things you can do for the team, bro.
He's talented. You guys got to face it, bro.
He's talented. I just don't want him to be on a first name basis with the training staff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
agree.
only
I
thing with
agree.
Mac Collins.
I agree. Now I'm not saying I don't want him to be the number one, the primary tight end. No, absolutely not.
Hey,
but
when he gets his little seven plays a game, I'm good with that. Keep him nice and fresh, no
Yeah.
fatigue. I'm good with that.
player like that with that kind of athleticism, what linebacker or safety is going to be able to cover?
Hey guys, can I
in a
show you
passing
guys something?
situation?
Can I show something?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to take the floor here for a sec, guys. So I'm just gonna give you all a sample.
Uh-oh.
Just a little sample. Just a little, as they call in the food industry that Havoc would know. Just a little taste of what we have lined
An
up.
appetizer.
Yeah, a little.
Well, it's are you talking about the little thing you get in but before your meal, the little aperitif?
No, I'm talking about when they
Aperitif.
when they go over and they bring that caviar on a little spoon and they give you just a little taste, bro.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
the you get that at restaurants that charge over $250 per person.
Bro, why do you gotta make me feel bougie out here, bro?
Because I worked at one. I mean, it is what it is. I know.
I
that,
thought
like,
that's what it costs to eat at McDonald's in New York. Jesus.
you're not too far off, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man.
It's all good because I don't even I don't even like caviar.
No,
No, not really.
I don't love it either, to be honest with you.
I love it in salads. Very good.
Caviar and salads. You calling me bougie? This guy has caviar in his salad.
and fresh sourdough bread with some nice cut cheese. Yes, very nice.
I'm just talking about a nice. I'm just talking about a nice little mousse bouche. You know what I mean?
I know.
I grew up in the Mutineer hotel down in Miami, dude. Coconut Grove.
Pass the Grey Poupon.
Mm-hmm. My dad worked there. I couldn't afford that crap.
That's the Grey Poupon.
Hey, does New York McDonald's have a dollar menu?
So what?
$1 menu. Is that what you say, Shake, when you're there and you get the menu? $1 menu?
No. When Shake goes to McDonald's, they say you want the usual, and he goes shake.
So, guys, I want everyone to kind of pay attention here. What you're going to see right now, I'll give you guys a little bit of a pre-snap info. I'll give you a better and a more in-depth breakdown.
22
when we actually get into it here. So what you're going to see, guys, is you got Jerome Baker and Landon Roberts. They are the interior. They are the interior right here. And you got obviously the single high safety. I want everyone. You're going to see it slow down. You're going to see. I'm going to give you the overhead angle, and then I'm going to give you a behind angle. To anyone who says that Jerome Baker is good in middle linebacker is his position, I present to you one of many examples you're going to see next week.
Exhibit A.
Yeah, Exhibit A. I'm like all the way up to Z right now. So what you're going to see, watch them here. Jerome Baker cuts back. He realizes that the coverage is blown, and not a very good play. You're going to see it here. Neither one of those guys identify. Watch. Neither one of those guys. I want everyone to watch what you're going to see here. Okay. Jerome Baker right here, Landon Roberts right here. What y'all are going to see is watch Julian Edelman coming out of the slot. He's going to come on a crossing route. And what you're going to see, guys, I want you to watch Jerome Baker and Landon Roberts' head. They're going to cut to their left. They're going to look back and identify that Julian Edelman is doing a crossing route. Then they're going to look back a second time, and that's when they're both going to realize, holy crap, we both screwed up. This is the type of play you cannot have and be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So I've slowed this angle down for you guys at an enormous rate. I want you guys, again, keep your eyes on Julian Edelman. He'll be doing a crossing route. Keep your eyes on the heads of Jerome Baker and Landon Roberts. They will notice what you're going to see them identify Julian Edelman and then look back behind them. Watch. So they over pursue by look at that about a foot and a half. You saw the cut that Baker had.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Again, looking right there, guys. Looking right there. Watch the heads. Watch the heads.
Both of them in sync.
Watch the heads. Landon Roberts has identified it's open. Jerome identified, and they both realize, oh crap, we screwed up. Jerome Baker doesn't even bother. Landon Roberts makes at least an effort, and Bobby McCain is there to pass it up. And then Jerome Baker has the audacity to throw his arms out in the air. That is complete pass.
Oh my God. You want to know the worst part reason?
While dumb McCain playing 20 yards free safety, I don't know why the hell he played so far.
The worst part is none of them covered Edelman.
Nope.
It was awful.
And they were looking right at him, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were looking right at him.
So they read it and they didn't do it.
Yeah, neither one cut. They took a couple of steps thinking, one of them's gonna make it cut back to the inside. Landon Roberts probably should have made that cut, but my issue here with Jerome is you're taking on the mic responsibilities. You know all the coverages. If you see a Landon Roberts running beside you, you should already be cutting back and saying, "Yo, you've blown it. I'm gonna go make up for it."
Exactly.
You can't have those kind of. You can't have those kind of breakdowns.
Ball game wants to know why is the slot wide receiver getting a free release off the line of scrimmage?
Because if you go back, I don't think anyone lined up over top of him.
No, that's what he's saying. It's like, why? What the hell?
Yeah.
One of those guys, Jerome Baker could have shifted out into the middle and manned up with him if he really wanted to. I don't know what the play call was, so I can't say that for sure.
So somebody, who was that? Jason Greaves said Jerome Baker is the Rosen of this defense. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
It's only going to get worse, guys. We got something coming for y'all next week. So I mean,
man.
Like I said, I was turning away clips from the Patriots game. So I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying.
A hard watch.
It is now week 3.
I don't think Roberts is Landon Roberts. He's a backup anyway. I mean, he has false hope starting him at linebacker. He's a career backup. I mean,
after he got slammed,
like what he is.
After he got slammed, everyone in that film room, I don't know how you can recover from that.
I don't see how.
Yeah, if you notice, ball game, if you watch Edelman, what happened was basically it looks like I think it was 29 basically gives them the free release, and then the boundary guy, which is Xavier Howard, is taking outside leverage. They're in zone. They're not in man.
In zone.
They're in zone. That's why he was not picked up, man. So I just watched that from the high angle. They were in zone. So Brandon Jones released them. Xavier Howard had outside leverage, and Xavier Howard just gave him the inside of the field because he should have had help over the middle.
Just like that deep play with John Brown burnt him, and Xavier let him go. Same exact thing.
Bobby.
Don't worry, and I got Bills clips against Baker too. There's a reason why. If you go back and you watch Baker yesterday, there's a reason why they took away interior snaps from Jerome Baker.
Yeah,
I told. Look, the third game, and he's right on schedule. I said by the third game of this year, his role will be significantly scaled back.
And here we go.
Right on thing he's effective at is blitzing. That's all he's effective at.
That's it.
That's it.
And if he's free in pursuit. Yeah. Other than pursuit,
athleticism.
Yeah, exactly. Other than pursuit, and blitzing off the edge. What is it? His use is useless. But
Alonso.
Exactly. Yeah, I know it. Right about 2 hours.
He's not too far off.
We're at about 2 hours and 20 minutes. And let's get it rolling with final thoughts. I'll save EM for last. Havoc, let's start with you.
I mean, at the end of the day, let's just keep everything in context. It was a good win. It was good to see our team experience winning for the first time together. But we're in the middle of a top-bottom rebuild. So, as always, just keep that in mind. If you temper your expectations, you will never be let down. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Australia. Fins up all day.
New Zealand.
Yeah. You pick a country.
Rhino, what's good, bro?
Just really glad to have a win. I'm excited. We have 10 days to prepare for Seattle. I don't know why, but I'm feeling optimistic. We'll see how it goes. But fins up.
That cloud is over your head.
Mm-hmm. Shake.
I am too.
Shake. What's good, homie?
No, I'm just gonna enjoy my victories when they come because they haven't been coming so often. But you gotta enjoy them while they're here, and fins up and shout out to Zamunda.
That's called taking the ball and running with it.
Damien, what's good, homie?
Optimistic, man. These next 3 games, man. To me, that's our season. I mean, we're rebuilding. I have false sense of expectation. These next 3 games, we go 2 out of 3. Hey, I got hope. If not, then you just gotta rebuild, man. Just gotta rebuild. Shout out to the Celtics.
Wow.
You ain't nothing.
Man, what you expect, man? I'm a nigga.
You know what?
I hate
it's a good win, but I'm still sticking to my 8-8, possibly 7-9 record. Hope they prepare for Russell Wilson because it's going to be a hell bath this next Sunday.
Yeah.
I
I don't think it's going to be pretty.
I heard what you said about Fitz earlier too, 82. But I'll wait to get you another day. I'll wait to address that another day.
What did he say, bro? Hold on a sec here. Hold on a sec.
Well, I'll let him tell it. He can tell it better than I can.
And by the way, Logan, shout out to MiamiSportsCheese. Still waiting on that collab, homie.
What you talking about, EM?
Wasn't that you on Larry's platform? You said you don't think we can win with Fitz. Was that you?
No, I do not think we could win with Fitz.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, no, he was opposite. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we could win with Fitz.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean win? Win title?
Yeah. Like, what does win mean? Because we just won a game. I'm just what
we could win games. That's what Fitz bring you 5, 6 games. But I'm talking like wins, like a positive winning record. I don't think we could do that with Fitz. I'm being honest, especially with this season. I really don't see that happening.
I feel you.
Can you explain why? You don't have to get into.
I better not hear Tua because last I checked, Joe.
No, you already know. We already spoke on that. I am not on the Tua train. I don't even want to see Tua to like the last 10, 11 games to show us that we are out the playoffs. But he hasn't proven. Go ahead.
What is Fitz not showing you on tape would lead you to believe that you cannot win when you're getting that kind of production? Why is it that you don't think you can win with that level of production?
It's not what Fitz is not showing me on tape, but Fitz with his track record has always been inconsistent. He's hot and cold. He's like waves.
That's the problem. See, that's the problem. You need to look. That's the problem. You need to stick to what the tape is telling you. That's where you need to come from, because your opinion of him not being is subjective based off what you think how he's performed in the past. Go by the tape. I'm telling you. Keep telling the fan base. This dude is playing at an extremely high level right now.
But he has done that in the past, EM. He has played at an extremely high level. And then he goes down to the tragic Fitz.
No, but
he goes back up to the magic Fitz.
You know why? And see, this is why I think I felt even leading up the second half of the season, what we saw last year and this year, it's all the other aspects of his game that he's improved in mechanically. Right. His mechanics are not all over the place like he was in the past. His decision making has gone up a notch or two. Ball placement, accuracy, et cetera, et cetera. Improvisation has always been there, but I just don't understand what more this guy has to do to convince our fan base to convince them that we can basically what you're seeing on tape. You can win with that. I don't understand that. It's ridiculous.
I agree with EM, but you can't blame them for bringing up the past, though. I mean, but I agree with you. He's a much better system quarterback now than he's ever been in any of his stops that I've seen anyway. Because he used to go like 500 yards and 6 touchdowns, and it was utter luck when you watched him.
I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he does. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he reels off like 6 wins in a row this season, and we go 9-7 and get a playoff wild card.
But it won't be him alone. But it won't be him alone.
Yeah.
Can't be him alone.
But it has in the past. But Fitz has literally carried teams on his back.
Name me one player, one quarterback that puts an entire team on his shoulders and wins.
The team we play next week.
Fitz has.
The team we've got to play next week. The team we got to play next week.
Yo, Russell Wilson.
That dude's got weapons,
bro. Tyler Lockett, bro.
Man, they're like
DK Metcalf.
Tyler Lockett went down.
Yeah, but DK Metcalf just gave. What do you mean? Tyler Lockett's been playing this year, bro. And DK Metcalf just gave Stephon. Yeah, but he's there this year, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And Tyler Lockett's been one of the most consistent wide receivers in the NFL, even on
DK been balling too.
And DK made Stephon Gilmore look like he shouldn't even be Pro Bowl considered.
DK has arrived.
And then everyone's sleeping on him. He's back, and it's only 2 games. Go look at how big Will Dissly was last year before he got in.
Yeah, my fantasy tight end.
And then
Greg Olsen as well.
And you got Christopher Carson, one of the most under him and Aaron Jones. You could probably make the argument are probably the two most underrated running backs in the NFL.
I agree.
So,
yeah.
This year, you can't make that argument about Russell Wilson because he's got weapons all up and down that offense.
Yeah.
But no quarterback, no one player, puts an entire team on his shoulders and win in any sport.
Marino did.
Well, he didn't win the Super Bowl.
He didn't win the Super Bowl.
I know he didn't.
But
it's easier. Hold on a sec. Dwayne Wade carried that Heat team to a championship in 06 or 07 when he had the flu. Mm-hmm. Shaq was very bad during that playoff run, bro. So
during the playoff run,
But here's the thing:
but
it's a lot easier to win in a 5-man sport than it is to win where 11 man on each side of the football. You got like Marino, the ball's out of your hand for half the game, and you got to depend on a totally different unit and on 11 guys that. Your camaraderie is with your offensive line and your offensive unit.
So we're just talking about offensively reason? Are we just talking about offensively, homie? A quarterback putting the team on his back, getting them to
That's what EM said. That's what EM was saying.
How about just getting them to a Super Bowl?
Winning.
Just getting them count?
Really, even getting them there.
No, you got to.
2015 Cam.
It's just not possible in football because you're not on the field 100% of the time like you are.
Yeah, it's too much variables.
Like you are in tennis. You know what I mean? You're lucky. You're doing extraordinary if you're on the field 50% of the time in a normal game. Okay, so it's just not possible. So this narrative that people put out there about he put the whole team on. That was not possible. You gotta have help. Everybody needs help.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I think he's talking about like in certain situations when everything adversity is against the whole team and the team like is demoralized and they just don't figure out a way. And then that quarterback gives that spark. How Patrick Mahomes did last year against the Texans where they were down. He was like, "Yo, we gonna win this, man."
Mm-hmm.
Like that type of spark. But football is the ultimate team sport.
Yeah. I'm just saying the production that we're getting, the way Fitz is playing right now, bro. He's at a Pro Bowl level.
I agree with you, homie.
As sacrilegious as that might sound, he is playing at a
Pro Bowl and Fitz together
level right now.
I agree with you, homie, but his past is his past, and like until he overcomes that past,
trust me, it ain't the first time Fitz has these type of games. That's what scares me.
He's had better. He's had better. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is what's different about Fitz.
Guys. Let's get back to final thoughts here. Y'all are
this is the longest final thoughts I've ever seen in my life.
You asked him.
Yeah, I asked him to tell me. I didn't ask him. All y'all heard was 20 minutes a little bit.
I told Tom.
Jeez Louise.
On another show, but no, you was like, no.
Right. You're like, deeper. No.
I told you to address it, not everyone to give their 20 minutes soliloquy.
My bad.
Havoc has even started.
Yeah,
we're gonna.
We on final thoughts, man.
Pyromancer, we're actually at you, so it's your turn. If you remember what they are.
Can you run that back to me again?
Yeah.
I'm on Fitzpatrick and stuff now.
Yeah, bro. Just let us know your final thoughts, man. That's it.
Well, I'm glad that we finally switched out Baker from out of the middle because, every time they got to the second level, he was just getting out of the play. Like Havoc said about him getting blocked into the parking lot. He was just not a factor at all. I'm like, why is he there? And I remember what EM said on Larry's channel about if Baker was in the middle linebacker again, he's just gonna drive off the road. That right there kills me, man. But my just one thing I need to say. Always root against the Texans.
That's a fact.
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely.
EM,
Facts, baby. Facts.
go ahead, bro. Let it rip.
Hey, I want to appreciate everybody for always coming out and supporting the channel. As always, everybody in the comments, everybody on the panel. It's greatly appreciated, all the love and support. But with that being said, yeah, man, a lot of positive what I saw Thursday. I'm gonna go watch the game again, a little bit of the game again here in a little bit when we in the stream. And but yeah, a lot of positivity. Love how our quarterback is playing. Looks like we found a player at the running back position that's going to stick around and be productive for us. Defensively, I think was the biggest improvement. Obviously, the move, to minimize Jerome Baker's snap count and, slide Calvin Oy in that role, as well as Kamu Gruber-Hill. I'm looking forward to see that combination, being implemented more consistently moving forward. So. Yeah. We need, I think we match up our next games with the Seattle Seahawks out, obviously, and I think we match up. We'll get to that, next week or whatnot. And but I think it's key areas where we match up, and reason I'll go over that, privately several times, I'm sure, in the coming week. But yeah, man, it's a lot of the positive things we saw from last night that we can take and we can build upon and look forward to. And yeah, man, let's just keep this. Let's keep this winning. It feels good to win, and let's just keep it moving. And pins up, baby.
I want to give a quick stat line over the last two games in terms of passing the ball. Over the last two games passing the ball, Ryan Fitzpatrick is 49 of 67 for a completion percentage of 73%, 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So
is that not a pro? Would you say that's at a Pro Bowl level?
He's playing well enough right now for us to win games, man. Quite frankly, the offense did enough in week 2 that we should have won that game. Our defense just should have won together, man. And hey, like I said, if our defense would have allowed us to get on the field in the third quarter of that Patriots game, maybe it would have been a little bit of a different outcome. You never know, right?
I agree.
But guys, other than that, y'all already know what time it is. It's Fins Up all day, every day. We'll be back sooner rather than later. I don't quite know yet, but we'll keep you all posted. Until then.